What is good, chat? How are we doing today? Hope y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I was messing around this thing. It was kind of weird. So guys, what's good? Welcome to another show. Listen, today is going to be very interesting because we are going to be talking about, actually not even talking about, we are going to be watching the explosion, all right, not explosion, I'm talking about explosion, yeah, as in they getting exposed, okay, of the red pill and how it tends to monetize off of lonely incels, okay? And listen, I've been told y'all this shit has been a grift, but I couldn't find the words to put it together. All right. I just couldn't help myself. I just keep clowning them. Okay. So there are other channels who've paid closer attention to what these guys are doing and to how they use these type of these cult mechanics to manipulate a lot of these young men to get them into their sphere of influence where they can monetize off of these guys. Now, here's why I find this absolutely sadistic for a couple of different reasons, right? The first reason I find it absolutely sadistic is because these guys, they know exactly what they're doing. They know, you can almost say they know their target audience well. They know these guys are guys who are they're never going to achieve a whole lot when that happens. And listen, you want to talk about being a successful millionaire? No, you're not going to achieve that, and they know it, right? So the same thing with women, because here's another insecurity they exploit, right? They exploit the money aspect, but they exploit the women aspect too, right? So you see them on there with a bunch of OnlyFans girls and all these other people, and they'll sit there and tell you, oh, well, listen, you can only get these girls. You can only be successful if you follow exactly what I did, which spoiler alert, it's not exactly what they did. It's not what they did at all, but you go ahead and follow their bullshit, right? As long as you follow this step by step and also pay me $1,200 for my course, okay, you can be just like me. I mean, think about it. Would you rather spend your stimulus check on things at Walmart and necessities that can help you and your family out, or would you rather spend your stimulus check on me, Andrew Tate? So give us your $1,200, all right, and we will help you become a high-value man. Or if you're someone like Donnie Boy, you go ahead and shame one of your followers because they didn't want to pay $500 to go to your CME event. They would much rather spend $500 on a PS5. This guy calls it the destiny effect, right? Guys, I'm telling you this because these are all the samey language these people use to try to get this man not only to feel bad for not investing money with them, right? And part of the reason is because if you don't invest money in them, the fear of missing out, you may not be successful. Look at all these other men who are joining us, all right? They're part of the war room, and they're all high-value, six-figure earning moguls out here, right? Which is a goddamn lot, but it is what it is, right? And here's the second reason. I went off a tangent with the first one, but the second reason, all right, is these people, they absolutely know you're not going to be successful. They know that, all right? And they know that, and they're preying deliberately on those insecurities you have so you can keep forking them money, okay? If it sounds like they're similar, that's because it kind of is, all right? It's a game, it's a gimmick, and it's kind of what we've been screaming at the heavens at y'all, telling y'all these guys are scamming you. That's what it is. And realistically, some of these guys have been scammed, right? They actually have been scammed. Like, I can't believe this. Like, listen, I'm sorry, bro. if someone, okay, let's take a look at this, right? Because some people tend to forget that Myron and Fresh Prince CEO, they scam a lot of their subscribers as soon as they hit 100K. A lot of people say, oh, dude, come on, you just hate me. No, I'm not. They actually did a 100K party. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the Fresh and Fit 100K party? Y'all remember the amount of money he requested from his fanboys, or Myron and them requested from their fanboys to pay up, right? Because they promised such an epic party with so many women. Like you incels, you've never really been at a club scene till you've been at a Fresh and Fit 100K party. All right, you gotta do this. All right, they hype this shit up. And listen, people who've been around the real world, they know that shit fake. They know these two are nerds anyways. Like, how y'all gonna throw a party? Y'all relying on a Jamaican to go ahead and bring the girls for you. I don't think y'all know what y'all doing. So we knew that, all right? But when we called it out, everyone saying, Duke, come on, whatever. They're going to throw a good 100K party. And then it happened. What happened? The backpedaling is what happened, because the 100K party didn't go down as planned. There were no bitches. I'm sure those incels that showed up, they were real pissed off. There were no women. Listen, matter of fact, you could take away the venue. You could have the punnet cake party in the parking lot. As long as there are women there, all right, the incels will be cool with it, right? But the fact that Fresh and Fit promised a bitching party with no bitches, it was crazy to me. And then you know what is even more insane? Instead of taking accountability for the shit planning job they decided to put on their followers there, they just blamed Allende and they kicked him out of the group. They literally made him a fall guy and said, yeah, he's the one that stole all your money, guys. We had nothing to do with it. So that's why we fired him. We got rid of him because he's a thief. And come to find out, he didn't. Fresh and Fit just didn't know how to plan a party and stole their audience's money. All right. So look at guys like Andrew Tate. Need I even need to explain someone like Andrew Tate all the stealing that he's been doing from a lot of these vulnerable young men? Matter of fact, I would have to say that Andrew Tate is actually closer to what this video is describing right now than anything else, right? Because Andrew Tate, what he managed to do was he not only gave you guys the visual element of it, but he's so good at putting together an image. He got a bunch of these men to believe that he is what he actually in fact isn't. All right, and they bought into it. You got the cars, you got the money. It is what it is, right? So the men are buying into that flashy aspect, right? It's kind of like what these red pillars do with the flashiness on steroids, right? But there's also a little bit more of a nefarious way he also got down, right? And the way he did it was kind of what I call double dipping, okay? Because as he's spreading the message of positivity to young men, he's running an online trafficking ring that has to do with mainly women on OnlyFans, okay? Preying on men similar to the one he's claiming to help, okay? So not only is he making money off the men on the back end here, literally on the back end with these OnlyFans girls and their TikToks, all right? He's also monetizing off these clowns on the front end by telling you, hey, I'm a clean guy. I'm a clean guy. These guys, it's a scam. It's a scam. Me? I haven't done OnlyFans or webcamming for 10 years. Those videos are a decade old. You know that? I'm sorry, Tate. Looks like they pulled this from 2022. Huh? 2022, yeah, that's what the Tate was. That's when the video was from. That you were selling a course back in 2020 and 2023, 2020 and 2022. That was you. It's your face right there. Oh, no, it wasn't. That was 10 years ago. Candace Owens. Candace, come here, Candace. Yeah, tell him. It was 10 years ago, right? Hey, listen, Candace Owens can attest to you that this is his first time doing this. He will not do it again. Andrew Tate is a good man. Like, honestly, it's kind of how this should play out, right? I mean, I'm paraphrasing right now. But that's essentially what it is, right? This man basically avoided accountability so much. Dude is running the every mainstream media conservative platform. Hey, tell him I'm innocent. Tell all of them I'm innocent. And you know what the funny thing is? I'm laughing right now. Y'all get the kick out of this. The funny thing is, it worked. It actually is working. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, he's innocent. Look what Tucker Carlson said. He's obviously innocent. Did you hear what Candace Owens said? It's the conspiracy. Look, they're doing to Tate what they're doing to Donald Trump. Honestly, I don't know if that's a comparison y'all want to be making Tate to Donald Trump, because if this nigga, when he gets convicted, I'm going to tell you this right now, it ain't looking good for Trump either. So I don't think Trump wants that comparison, nor should you be making that comparison if you guys are off that conservative mind of wanting Trump to win. It's not a good look having a guy be compared to a trafficker, especially dude is known for grabbing by the pussy, right? I mean, you don't want to be compared to Andrew Tate. That's just not a good look. But anyways, again, this is how all this stuff is playing out. These guys, their money, it's being siphoned away from them, right? And don't even get me started on Pearl and Sneeko. Sneeko, he's done more to expose his own grift than anything else, right? Even so much so his daddy, Andrew Tate, is severing ties, which is interesting, right? I mean, very, very interesting, right? But wait, chat. The reason why I'm saying this interesting, I thought Sneeko was part of the war room. I thought they didn't get kicked out that easy, right? So I don't know if it's more than that, right? Because chat, that shit got me thinking. I'm like, well, isn't Sneeko part of the war room? Because there are a bunch of photos with him, and it seemed like he's taking photos with a bunch of members of the war room, and we've even called that out in this video in itself. We were like, hey, who are these people? One of them is the guy that got arrested for beating up his girl because she didn't get a tattoo of him, right? So why is it that Tate all of a sudden, after mini Tate, Sneeko, why is he breaking ties with him like that? I mean, in a sense, why is he calling him out, right? I mean, we know Sneeko unfollowed him on Instagram, but why would Andrew Tate do it? I mean, especially if Sneeko Mini Tate was doing it with OnlyFans girls. He was live streaming with OnlyFans girls. Why is Andrew Tate now using that as an excuse, all right, to say, Sneeko, this guy's got no morals. It's just cheap. I'm like, because chat, y'all saw my reaction. I'm like, that don't make any sense, bro. You built your own platform with women. That's what you did. You built an entire platform for women. So you're shaming Sneeko for doing what you did. I thought he was mini you. Why are you getting mad? But again, it just goes to show you, there's probably more than meets the eye when it comes to a lot of these comebacks. Again, if you're getting life advice or life lessons from idiots like this, chances are you need help. Like, you desperately need help, because what's going to end up happening, because a lot of these, what's end up happening is these manosphere, red pill, make a man better bullshit package they're selling. A lot of young men in the future, maybe 10 years from now, when they grow a couple hairs on their balls, right, they're going to realize they've been lied to with a bunch of this crap. And I envision a time frame where there's going to be a bunch of people who are having, what do you call it? Regrets, like major regrets for having invested so much of their young youth time they have, the amount of money they didn't have at that time, all on products that never actually helped them get better. Right? Because think about it. You take one of these red pill advice, you're going to break up with your girl. And it's not because you're moving on to do high value things. It's just because she's going to realize you're a dumbass. Clearly, you probably like, people other than her, right? So she's going to leave you. She's not going to play that. All right. So again, you guys are not understanding how effectively damaging this is going to do for you guys in the future, especially when you end up a lot more isolated. With that being said, guys, go ahead and hit the like button, because we're about to get to this video. It's about to be hilarious and a real eye opener. All right. So if you haven't done it, do it. Let's do it. Let me pull this up real quick. Insanely boom. This is KiraTv, by the way. Let's go ahead and give him a subscribe.
It's that you can monetize just about anything.
Ice cream so good. Yes, popcorn. Ice cream so good.
Imagine my lack of surprise when people monetized the epidemic of sad and lonely men.
Hustle University is the greatest thing that exists on the face of the planet.
That's what I want to teach you on this course.
Unplugging from the matrix of fitness and game.
And you might be thinking, oh, how big is this? Well, business is booming. Dozens of people, loads of YouTube channels that are earning millions of dollars a year selling a lie, claiming to have answers to a very real problem, but just making everything worse. So let's go on a journey together. I'm going to put on my Morpheus cosplay and hand you that red pill. We're going down the rabbit hole of truth. I'm red pilling the red pill and breaking these lonely, desperate men out of their Andrew Tate worshipping mind matrix. One thing that is impossible to ignore when discussing the rise of internet ideologies and movements is that of misinformation and bias within the media. Clickbait-driven headlines and manipulative algorithms often make it difficult to know where to get reliable information. That's why I've been using Ground News, an underreported. Get 30% off around how to live life, specifically about the real truth of society and their place within it. This mostly pertains to masculinity, conspiracy theories, making money, and women. The red pill is also not the only word that this movement goes by. It can also, in many popular spaces, be substituted with the word manosphere. If you've not heard of these things, you might be surprised to learn just how huge this movement is. So the question of how we got here comes down to one man, sort of.
Am I successful? Am I competent? Am I achieving things? Am I respected? If you start to look at these indicators of your life, you're going to end up being happier.
Now, I do need to say that Andrew Tate himself has said he isn't red pill and that he finds the whole concept and most of the people involved to be cringe, but his unwillingness to co-opt the term is irrelevant to the reality, and that is his talking points are almost identical to the whole space, and his popularity is what has accelerated the movement. And I do mean accelerated, because even without Andrew Tate or any other manosphere figurehead, this was an inevitability in modern society. We were already headed down this path. Andrew Tate was never the cause. He was simply the most prevalent symptom. Why do I say this? Well, let's answer the question of why it exists in the first place. It'll probably only take you a few minutes to Google search if you've not already seen these very shocking statistics when it comes to the rise of loneliness in men, especially young men. This is the real epidemic that is going to claim more lives than any contagious disease, and it's eroding the very foundation of modern society. For the record, this problem does not just envelop men, but it is more prevalent statistically for a multitude of reasons. On the face of it, men have less friends than ever before. They spend less time socializing with the friends that they do have than ever before. They're virgins for far longer, have sex less frequently overall, and they are self-deleting at an alarmingly high rate, with numbers trending upwards greater than ever before. They're also less likely to seek mental health assistance, more likely to turn to drugs or substance abuse to cope with these factors, which don't even play into the self-deleting stat, and are overall becoming increasingly disenfranchised with the world, or most importantly, their place within it.
So a lot of these men, that's why they get frustrated, right? Because they feel that disenfranchisement. And he has a point. He has an absolute point. A lot of men, no one's talking to them because, you know, the society, they feel as though society's forgotten them. They're looking at women right now because that's where the overwhelming amount of anger is being generated towards. And the women, you know, they've become less submissive. You know, they're requiring more out of the men. And on top of that, you know, their earnings are going up. And a lot of times they're out earning most average guys, right? So when the average guys look at that and say, hey, you used to be a woman that I could qualify for, and the woman says, you got to bring a lot more to the table. See, a lot of men, they're not used to society as it's molding in right now. And to be fair, no one should be used to it because it's a new thing. Like women making money, women being out of the house, women having freedom, unless you're in Saudi Arabia, which I'm sure a lot of these incels will love to go to, right? They will fly out there in drones until they realize that, hey, petty crimes, you get your hands chopped off too. Just saying. So that's why they probably don't. They know crime rate's low and women can't do much because they'll behead you in public if you fuck up the moment. And listen, it's great for straight men, right? You want to go over there and do things right, but the moment you turn out, hey, maybe you like different choices or do different style of sex, that's often a beheading for you. They're not playing over there, but I'm sure those guys wouldn't mind those countries. So when they're looking at society and how it is right now, they're saying, okay, I feel left out. Like, the women are taken care of and society looks like all these programs are geared to them, right? Where is it for men? And then when we try to talk about this, there are people out there online saying, forget about it, right? You guys, why, right? And here's the thing. I don't think it's because I think part of the reason why most people do that, especially in the mainstream media and most societies, is pure ignorance, right? Because they're basing it off of what they assume men should do in the first place, right? Hey, you're a man, tough it up. Hey, you're complaining about what? You got CEOs in charge, and you got people who are all in the top positions who are men. Don't worry about it, right? But that's only for people who are in the top positions, right? Because when it comes to men, it's like literally the extreme men, right, are the ones who are really succeeding out there. The average are the ones that need help, right? That's why they're committing suicide and doing all this crazy stuff. The thing is, these men, here's the thing. They've gotten so desperate for direction that they don't realize that there's a period where you stop, do a bunch of self-reflection, and then analyze your direction, right? A lot of these men don't do that. They feel some kind of disenfranchisement from society and women because a lot of these guys get rejected, like the poor 15-year-old girl that got stabbed up because, the girl said no to a guy, right? These are the kind of mind fucks we're seeing out here. But again, a lot of these guys don't realize that it takes a lot of inner looking. One thing I've realized with a lot of these red pill is how entitled these guys feel, right? They feel as though to how society should owe them things, how entitled they feel, how women should treat them, things like that. And they're not accounting for, actual people being free to pursue whatever the fuck they want. Because back in the day that y'all were looking for, society was good for men, but it was good for all men and women, right? Because men that look like me didn't have it so great either. So again, these guys, no one's talking to them. You got guys like Andrew Tate that walk on in and say, hey, you guys suck and I can make you better, and society's making you guys suck too. It's not your fault. Again, He's doing something very important. He's taken away the ability to self-reflect by removing the ability for you to be held accountable for your actions, right? So Fresh and Fit will say the same thing. Oh, it's the women's fault or this and that, right? They're removing accountability from the men, like what you guys should be doing. Why does your life suck? What should you be doing to get better, right? None of those guys want to hear that. They don't want to look at any of that. So when you got guys like Andrew Tate, when you got guys like Fresh and Fit, they come out and they say these things, these guys gravitate to that because there's no one else saying this. The problem with this is this can lead to fucked up shit we're seeing now, where a bunch of little kids are gonna run around behind sneakers saying "fuck women," "fuck women," yeah, "fuck women," and the LGBTQ, delete them all, right? That's the real problem, and that's a scary thing as more men become disenfranchised.
So to answer the question of why Andrew Tate, why the Red Pill, why the Manosphere, Sneeko, podcasts like Fresh and Fit, the Red Pill Godfather, Rollo Tomasi, and many others exist, it's very simple. It's because they need to exist. Supply and demand. These people didn't just appear for no reason. They arrived at the right time with the right message. And that is obviously not me giving them my rubber stamp of approval, as I believe each one of the people I just listed, as well as the majority of the Manosphere space, is a counterintuitive detriment to young men's lives. For reasons that we'll mostly go over in the next section, this is just me saying that this movement didn't arrive overnight for no reason and brainwash hundreds of millions of men. The male loneliness epidemic was already here. It's a cancer eating society. The Manosphere presented itself as chemotherapy, bringing with it total destruction of the body, but without the added benefit of potentially eradicating the cancer. Not to say there are no good pieces of advice from any of these people, or a well-rationed person couldn't learn a few real truths from these spaces, such as eating right, exercising, socializing, and trying to better your situation financially. But these few truths are things almost anybody could tell you without the added baggage of what is adjacent to the grift of these male self-help gurus.
And I've been saying this for a long time. Anybody, literally anybody, says the exact same thing this freaking loser says. None of these people are original. All right. I don't know. This guy says that he doesn't want to simp for his daughter. So I think that's weird. But again, weirdos hang together. Why not? I mean, this guy is desperately trying to relive his glory days back in high school. He's going through a midlife crisis. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Corvette or a Camaro sitting in this guy's garage right now. It's probably yellow, right? Because it's got to stand out. It's got to be flashy, right? This guy is just desperate, okay? And I don't know who the hell this guy is. But again, these people here, there's nothing new under the sun that they can tell you that you can't find out there already. So tell you these men, they're probably looking for something more other than just help, right? In comes the flashy cars, the money, and in comes the women. Okay, that's the underlying thing right there. That's what gets the men hooked. Because what's the difference between Andrew Tate and Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins doesn't drive around bragging about his Bugatti and flaunting bitches, right? Tony Robbins doesn't do that. Andrew Tate will say the same thing Tony Robbins says, but like 10 times dumbed down. Okay, but as long as he's got the cause, as long as he's got all that bravado and all that nonsense, it appeals to male primitive thought process, if that's even a thing, right? Because you can't be primitive and have a thought, right? So again, it just appeals to that primitive nature of men, right? So I am RPJ. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Let's get the likes up, chat. Could we do that? Could we get that going? The educated Pookie. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. It says, Duke, have you ever noticed that nobody ever pays attention to Fresh? It's like it's embarrassing at the point of none of these guys' perspective. He's a running meme, bro. Fresh is a running meme at this point. And I think he's one of those guys that just accepts his fate, right? He just accepts that he's forever just going to be the guy to get makes fun of. Because think about it. When the girls were doing that rating thing, right? We got more videos of that, too, to cover. But when the girls were doing that rating thing, they could have roasted Myron. You think about it. Because, I mean, Myron, it was crazy how they were like, oh, yeah, you know, Myron, you get a 7, or Myron, you get a 8. I'm like, how? This guy. Like, what the fuck? But then when it comes to Fresh, 2, 3. It's like, damn. Hey, they roasted Fresh's shirt. And dude's like, but it's designer. The paint's on purpose. I'm not homeless, I promise. The paint's on purpose. Look at my chain. Look, I'm not homeless. But like I'm telling you, Fresh always gets the worst end of the stick, bro. But hey, listen, if you're gonna roll with people like this who got narcissistic issues and problems, you got to be ready for that kind of nonsense. Okay, the disrespect is clear.
I'm of course talking about conspiracy theories and hatred.
Obesity comes from you Jews affecting our media
I'm
with
the
your
reason
fucking.
you're fat.
No, you guys bought McDonald's and all that shit.
One of the very few men on earth I do trust, good old Alex Jones, he said this 2 months before 9/11.
They don't want you to be masculine. The biggest threat to their agenda is an independent, free-thinking man.
And to answer the last question of who cares, well, I know on social media nobody really cares about the fact that young men in particular are suffering, because it's cool to be inclusive and empathetic to everybody, except for those you deem to have power as a group, despite the fact that most average men have little to no power at all over their own lives, let alone society. But you should care, because this is a reflection of that society. Not just that, but you probably have men in your lives as well that are struggling with things like this. Could be your brothers, fathers, sons, cousins, friends, or old acquaintances. I don't think it can be simultaneously true that we say everybody should get help, they all deserve compassion and understanding, but then demonize a clear growing trend that could bring economic and societal downturns just because it's cool to shit on men online. Which would probably sound better if it wasn't me, a man, saying this, but I am, because it is important. The rise of the Tate cells, as well as the growing incel movement, hatred of women, conspiracy nuts, and a whole other host of issues exist because as a society, this issue is prevalent and persistent. I think society in general is too busy looking at the surface of those, idiots who follow this stupid rhetoric to understand the reason that they do is because they're lost, and these people are telling them that it's okay. These grifters that are making them believe all these crazy, wild things are the only ones who are compassionately speaking to these men. They're making them believe, and the truth is, they are speaking pure lies, designed almost entirely for personal gain and enrichment. So let's talk about the real red pill. The reality of the matter is, the red pill does have some merit when taken at face value. There have been shifts in society that resulted in vastly different circumstances for everybody, but especially for young men. For starters, society has moved beyond where most people live, and if they live where society now does, they then lack the skills to interact in the real world. That as a sentence doesn't make sense, right? Let me explain. Society for most young people, as well as for most lonely people, exists online. Their society exists on social media. But where is it that they need to be in order to actually better their situation? The real world with real people, face-to-face interactions and social situations. This problem is compounding. The more time people spend online, whether as an escape from the pressures of real life because they don't feel that they fit in, or for comfort, the less social they're going to become, the more awkward any potential interactions will go. And of course, this leads to them being less and less likely to find the meaningful friendships or relationships that they need to live happily and normally.
Facts. Although one thing I would add in there is a lot of these guys are so used to the parasocial relationships they developed online that I don't think they want to go back. All right. They've been so institutionalized by the internet. I don't think these guys want to go back. If you present reality to them, they would actively fight against you. Matter of fact, they would try to kill you if they knew where you were at, right? That's how insane the indoctrination for a lot of these young men has become, right? They've gotten so lulled in this online world, which, by the way, newsflash, is the Matrix. They've gotten so lulled by this stuff that this is their life, because online is where they're gonna find like-minded people like them, right? Because think about it, no one's gonna be walking around in the real world saying, "Hey, I'm a loser and I can't get girls. So who wants to hang out with me? If you want to be my friend, I can't get. You can't get girls too. Oh shit! All right, you want to go play? What do you want to do? We want to go play around and hang out? You can't do that in the real world. That's not a thing that happens. Okay, it only happens online because people in the real world, they're shy. Okay, even if they can't get girls, or if they feel a certain way about themselves or society, they're not going to be outwardly expressive of that to other people. But online, when there's a little shield of anonymity, at least they believe so, okay, then they will let their minds be alone. And that's how they gravitate to these little groups. And when they gravitate to these groups, they get institutionalized, okay? Meaning that they get wrapped up in what, and by groups, I mean these group chats. Like some of these chats are crazy. If you guys have not been in an incel chat, it's probably the worst place you want to be. It's the darkest place on the internet, okay? Because you see a lot of their dark thoughts and they just let it be known. Some of them has to do with raping women. Some of them have to do with women deserving of being murdered. Hell, there are probably some right now about that 15-year-old girl that got stabbed up by a dude that told her no. These guys promote that kind of mentality. Again, so when you guys see me yelling a lot of these incels and me not feeling bad or respect for them, right? This is the shit that I mean. They don't do the self-reflection first before they meet other psychopaths online.
It's the self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is the problem that gets worse for the younger generation, especially after lockdowns where people have grown up on social media, hang out in person less, homeschool, go to college online, work remotely, date using apps, and generally skew towards hobbies that isolate them further. To put it simply, they spend less time with real people and therefore are less confident or capable people in face-to-face society, which is where they probably have the highest chance to meet people who are going to give them the things that they're missing in life and remove that loneliness. A lot of people nowadays have either grown up not learning how to socialize because of social media and the internet age, or they've forgotten, whichever one it is, they currently are not equipped with the tools to navigate the real world. You only have to look at cultures like Japan, where they literally have a word for this, ikikomori. We also have words in the West, neets, incel is obviously one that people throw around a lot when people are just really bad at talking to women and, of course, are involuntary celibate. Losers, when people don't have friends and can't seem to get into good social situations. This is a problem that transcends barriers of culture. This is how you know it just exists and it's growing in popularity just due to the way that people interact with the world.
Y'all remember in the era of Kevin Samuels, right? In the era of Kevin Samuels, was it Japan or was it China? No, it was China. And he would talk about how there were leftover women in China, right? It was just, there was a word for it. If you guys figured out what, because Kevin Samuels used to say it a lot. If you guys knew what it is, put it in the chat. It's for women who are like, the equivalent of what the manosphere call post-wall, right? And who can get husbands and whatnot, right? And although, it's fair if Kevin Samuels wants to bring up that conversation, I feel as though it's disingenuous because although you want to talk about lonely women of older age not being able to pair up, we're not talking about the epidemic of men, especially in China, after the unraveling effect of their one-child policy that completely ruined dating for a lot of marriageable age men right now in that country, which leads to what we're seeing right now, the frustrations that a lot of men are feeling, the loneliness, things like that. So again, this is just more, you see a lot of people in the manosphere talking about one side, right? It's always about the women growing old and dying alone. You're gonna go old and dying alone. Again, if you guys were being realistic here, all right, first things first, it's gonna happen to both of sexes. But second things second, all right, the men aren't faring well either. Okay, if the women are gonna grow old and die alone, men are dying alone right now, young. The fuck are we gonna do about that? But we're not talking about that in a manosphere because the manosphere is not a place for us to do that, right? Because it's too depressing to have that conversation about men dying. No. It's better to have fake placebo effect type of motivational nonsense for them to come up here, right? Where we relieve them of the accountability of what's going on with the women in their lives. But we also let them know that it's not their fault and you can aspire to be the same level of greatness as they are. There's a secret that you don't know, but they do. They know you're never going to get there. They know you're going to be in the same spot. You're just paying them money at the end of the day to feel good. All right. Men are dying alone now, young, some even younger. Why are we talking about this in the manosphere? The only time we see this being referenced is when they're trying to use it as a talking point against women when they bring up issues with their sex. This is why the manosphere, again, it's feeding you unhealthy, unrealistic information that keeps you guys pissed off and angry.
This, of course, plays into the next problem, which is dating in 2023. Most people believe that due to the shift of society being online, there is no alternative to meet potential friends or romantic relationships without dating apps. Instead, they find themselves swiping on Tinder, where statistically and common sense dictates results are directly tied to one attribute and one attribute alone, attractiveness. Let's be honest, most of us are not that good looking, and on an app that is basically unhealthy fast food, of course people are going to pick the tastiest snacks. There isn't nutritional value there that they care about because they're there for a quick bite, and whatever looks the nicest is going to be picked. The common sense thing here is that this has nothing to do with women or men. Of course, the red pill does present it as such, where women only want a 6-foot-tall Giga Chad. This just has everything to do with the fact of the matter. If you show someone 10 people without any real indication of other redeemable or disqualifying traits, asking them to pick from the list using exclusively only their physical appearance, of course the result will mean the most attractive people get the most results. This leads to men becoming disenfranchised and thinking that women only want them if they're this thing that they are not, which essentially removes all of their responsibility in the situation, because what are they going to do? Grow taller? Get more attractive suddenly? When you take the problem out of somebody's hands and their own ability to influence it, of course they're going to turn to things that are external and start blaming the people that are making these decisions, because they can't blame themselves, can they? Obviously, there is a factor that society has moved forward for women as well, giving them greater opportunities for careers and for pay. This has essentially killed the one main selling point every man on the planet had in the dating economy of old times, which is an income. Now men are required to bring more to the table than just a paycheck at a time when men seem more lost in their own value than ever before. Also, because of healthcare increasing, it means that women can have children later, so they're not rushed by biology to have children when they're very young, which means they're going to mature and make better decisions about which type of people they're going to have in their life for the long term. Now, is this the common man's fault? Sure, somewhat, a little bit, because everybody can change and they all bear responsibility for their own circumstances to an extent, but it's also just the way society now exists, and it's kind of happened without anybody really paying too much attention.
Y'all remember Sneeko's old grift over here? Remember he used to do the 1-minute podcast, right? Now he's back to doing IRL streams, but it's just more degenerate than what it used to be. This guy, man, his whole character arc has been a complete disgrace.
Until the problem now exists. And realistically, it's not a question of right or wrong. All of this, and much more, leads to the bigger overall problem of why the red pill and manosphere has grown so exponentially. What do I mean? Well, in just about every walk of life, it's easier to blame something that isn't you. If you are this average unsocialized man who has little to no friends, no luck with the opposite sex, life's passing you by and you just don't know what to do about it, you've got no confidence, and your options for who to blame are yourself or society, chances are you're going to blame society. It's just easier to do. It's the self-defeating reality that if you do make the choice to blame society, it's going to change nothing about the circumstance and only send you down a path of manosphere, which is going to be further self-destruction. But that's what people...
Is the roommate still a thing? I know Hafiz came out with a video saying they're done, but are they still a thing? Because I know they made their start on Fresh and Fit, so Hafiz can't hide that. But, I mean, as much as we can say what we need to say about Hafiz, he did expose Pearl before we had a chance to expose her. So he was on the money, but they laughed at him. It was just poor Hafiz. Like, how his whole red pill arc ended up, like, it just was not good. I felt like he could probably would have went out a little bit better than the way he went out in the red pill. But, like, damn. Yeah, I mean, again, you got to know your audience, because these incels, when you turn a new leaf and realize that women-hating shit ain't nothing you want to be a part of, they're not going to fuck with you no more. They're just not. These men come to watch women get shamed. That's the type of content they want. It tantalizes them. It tickles their pickle. So this is what they want to do. The moment you spin off from that and you start talking about stuff that's a little bit more wholesome, maybe women not being complete monsters, and, maybe it's good to get married again, right? But I don't know, right? Because he's married. I don't know. I don't know the whole reason why the red pill abandoned a feast. But, like, his whole arc, y'all got to agree with me, it was undeserving. It's kind of like what Marvel did to Hulk, right? You remember how his whole arc was just horrible. It started out good in Marvel, all right, and then towards the end, Hulk was pretty much like, I didn't know what the hell. He could be my lab instructor. Like, what the hell happened, Bruce? Right? That's what we're looking at with Hafiz, right? So it's just sad to see this unfold. But again, know the company you keep. A lot of these red pill audience members are not good people you want to be, chasing after. I know it makes you a lot of money. I know it keeps you rich. But trust me, bro, the moment you stop talking this anti-woman rah-rah bullshit, guess what? They're dunking on you. They're dumping you faster than you can say, damn, I had a career.
people are doing, whether knowingly or not. Now, of course, there are a million social stigmas of talking about problems or opening up emotionally to people, which for whatever reason is frowned upon as a man, but even less likely to happen since, again, statistically, men these days have less friends, and with the growing manosphere influence, those friends are more likely to tell you to stop being a pussy and watch a video about Andrew Tate with Giga Chad music in the background, because of course that will fix all of your problems. Talking about them would be something only a beta male does. You obviously can't talk about it on social media either, because if I've seen anything about this, it's that people are just going to come in and say you don't deserve to have problems because you're probably just a man. So of course, when nobody's talking to you, nobody's listening to you, nobody's really representing your problems, when somebody shows up who looks like they're in shape, who looks like they're a really masculine man, who's doing all the things that you want to do, who lives the life that you would love to live, and he's the only person talking to you, of course, you're probably going to listen. And these are just some of the factors that led us to where we are today. I'm sure there's going to be more, but I could be talking about this all day without addressing the next point, which is that the red pill is just capitalism and greed from lying narcissists who are LARPing as the saviors of young men, while instead just causing them harm. The advice they give is terrible for 97% of their audience, meaning that they're selling out the vast majority, and the 3% who wind up becoming wealthy following their advice will make the situation even worse for the other 97%. It's a toxic wasteland of a few useful pieces of life advice wrapped up in hate that will poison an impressionable man's brain into becoming a worse person, and therefore even less likely to ever find a woman who would want anything to do with them. Now, if there's something else the internet has taught me, hate is a very powerful tool. Once you recognize that the easiest way to build influence is to turn one group against another, you will see it in everything that people do online.
Think about it, right? These are the people that say that they're awake. They're woke, right? They're awake, and we're the ones who are sleeping. But the difference between us and these tater tots and these guys who have been completely brainwashed by the Matrix is this is exactly what we've been trying to tell you. These are the patterns we see on every podcast. Matter of fact, look at this bozo over here, all right? This guy in a goddamn flannel with a little pin up there, right? This guy, they used to be a prank channel. Okay, the Whatever podcast used to be a prank channel. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but they used to be a prank channel, right? So how does this prank channel all of a sudden turn around and say, you know what? We're going to start talking about manosphere now. We're going to start talking about relationships. And you know what? We're going to model our exact podcast similar, matter of fact, exactly the same as Fresh and Fit. Right? We have two male co-hosts surrounded by OnlyFans women. The only difference is we have an Asian girl in the background wearing a German war hat. Yeah, that's fucking different, huh? Like, I mean, what? Like, I'm sorry, dude. What is that woman supposed to represent? Like, is she eye candy for a lot of you white dudes that love Asian girls? Like, again, why is she there, not saying nothing with a damn hat on? Like, she looks like a character. And I'm honestly, it kind of just goes to the point of you guys objectifying. Like, why is she there, bro? She provides no value. But anyways, since when do you go from a prank channel to a Fresh and Fit Walmart brand? Like, what are we doing here? It just goes to show you there's a grift happening. We see it in the real world. These tater tots and sip tarts, they don't see it. So to them, when they move on to another platform, all right, putting out the same Matrix messaging, to them, that's, oh yeah, that's cool. That's reality. You guys definitely get it and understand it, right? So they mosey right into it. But us who are saying, hey, there's a pattern here. Hold up, time out. He's saying the same thing as him. See, look. They even have the same podcast set up. You see the OnlyFans girls? There they are right there. There's OnlyFans girls, and now they're having the same conversations. All right, like what's going on, right? If this doesn't make any more sense, how about this? You got Valuetainment Money. Okay, Valuetainment Money ran by what you call it, Adam Sosnick, all right, which is Patrick McDavid's mini-me. And they're supposed to be about financial success and things like that. Why are they hosting red pillars like Donnie Boy and Rollo Tomasi? Why? All right, these guys are about Valuetainment Money. Them niggas are broke. They don't even need to be in that show, bro. They're broke. They need the fans to make money. I mean, think about it. Rollo got mad at him over $60, B. Isn't that why Rollo Isn't that why Rolo broke up with the SoundSlick platform? Was over $60. Joe, broke ass. Well, listen, I flew out on my own dime, and all I was expecting if they would just pay for my trip, but they never offered to pay for my trip. I mean, I wanted to fly there, but they could have just paid for my trip. I spent $60 on a super chat. He didn't even want to read it. I'm done with you, Adam. It's like $60, and you value payment money. You bring these brokies on to talk about what? Talk about what are we talking about here, right? So again, if this doesn't tell you that every single one of these platforms, some who used to be outside of this space are coming into this space doing the same thing, there's a grift. There's a pattern of behavior here, and they're only doing this for one reason only, because there's only one reason you spend a boatload of money on podcasts and women. That's because the people who you're marketing to is probably going to give you way more in return. Just food for thought. M. Dot with the $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Said the term KS referred to was Kodakoshi. Yes, M. Dot with those save. Kodakoshi. Yeah, that was the lonely death in Japan. The lonely people. You're absolutely right. People in isolation who pass away go weeks before being found. Yeah, actually, that actually happened in a complex that like literally a mile from here. Like somebody passed away and it started smelling. That's how they found it, right? Because other than that, it was an old dude too. No one knew. He was just in the apartment. All of a sudden, like neighbors started complaining of a bad smell, and they forced to open the door, and there he was just sitting there. Shit was crazy, bro. It's shocking to see that happen in real life, but it was an old man. All right, so this stuff happens to men. We're sitting here talking about women die alone, buy a cat, a dog, whatever the fuck. Y'all need to start figuring out for both sexes. This gender war, I think it's gotten us distracted, from the real picture here. I mean, loneliness it's a pair for everybody.
Politics is probably the most prevalent one. It's us versus them. We are the righteous. They are the evil. Everything we do is okay. Everything they do is bad. If we do the same things, it's for good reasons, but they're doing it for bad ones. Every conflict is black and white. Why? Because it's easy and it feels good. The barrier for entry to this conflict is super low. It's way more accessible than any form of nuance would be, and it's easy to digest. It simply works. And that's exactly what the manosphere has done to convince these men who already were willing to believe things because they didn't want to blame themselves. They've told them it's team men versus team women. They use anecdotes of when a woman does something bad or wrong and pretend as if they're not anecdotes at all, that there can't be good women and bad women, like there's good men and bad men. It's just all evidence that women are built this way and they are the problem. So they're making everything simple by design. And I can't say for sure that all the people doing this are lying or grifting.
This is propaganda 101, by the way. And this is why a lot of times Sneako's messaging, why he's so surprised that his followers only grasp the most simplest concept, which means women bad, LGBT bad, all right, men good. Right. Well, the reason why is because they simplify everything to this. Right. They dumb things down. And when you dumb things down and simplify, you move out context and nuances, and that's gone. And when that's gone, you remove the ability for people to understand what's the true situation here. Right. And that's what's been going on. A lot of these guys have been pinning issues on women. All right. Oh, societies, because, look, women and the feminism. Right. Feminism was third wave. And now they're coming at us for our rights and things like that. It's like, no. I mean, yeah, feminism played a right in terms of accelerating a lot of success women are seeing in today's society. But it's not their fault that men are suffering. It's not their fault at all. It's completely different. And again, when these guys blame one thing, right? They blame feminism. And what is it? It's usually it's a third wave of feminism that they like to point out and say, yeah, you see, the third wave, that's what it is. Now we got to go all the way back to the suffrage and women's voting. We got to take that all the way, because you see, you just give them an inch, they take a mile, right? We can't let these women vote. No, it's not the case. All right, this is what happens when you don't provide enough nuances and information, you simplify things. These guys win.
But I can say that given enough time, each one of them gets caught living a contradictory life to what they tell their audience to live. Whether it's saying paying for sex is for losers and you shouldn't do that, and then being caught on sugar baby websites trying to find women to pay to hang out with.
You approached me on a sugar daddy website and asked me to be your sugar baby.
My boy, I didn't. No, I didn't. You lying. You lie. Hey, you want Frank Castle to come out? I didn't do that. Hey, guys, never pay for pussy. You see what I mean? These guys, they're out of both sides of the mouth. That's like they like to talk. That's the favorite position, out of both sides of the mouth. That's the best way they like to talk, right? And he said he is shitting on these very same women he knows for a fact he needs to be successful. Make it make sense, right? So again, if those of you guys who are so outside of the matrix in society, if you were really paying attention and looking at the guy who's spreading this bullshit, why is a man who's saying that women, the very women, are responsible for the downfall of society, why is he surrounding himself by them very same women? Why don't you guys just think further than that? Wait. Why would you surround yourself by this symbol of what you think is destroying society? The OnlyFans women. I'm not saying all women, right? I'm talking about the type of women they blame, the promiscuous ones, right? The OnlyFans ones. Why specifically that woman, right? Why not just bring average girls on, right? Why not? See, you Matrix wannabe losers out there, you incels. You guys are not thinking. You're not thinking outside the box. He needs those women to be just as successful, just like you need those women to be able to go ahead and send those super chats to insult. That's it. He knows the game, right? He was over there paying for her sugar baby site.
Allowance.
Never did.
He couldn't afford my $10,000 allowance a month and said, haha, that's funny. Why don't you just come on my podcast instead?
Or saying sex workers like OnlyFans girls are the bane of society, and you're platforming them constantly, which results in their audience subbing to them and making them more successful. Or, of course, having those women on the podcast and having sex.
I remember this one. I remember this one very well. Y'all remember? I covered this story. Yeah, I remember this one exactly well. Yeah, hey, Myron, you tried to Harvey Weinstein her. That's what you tried to do, Myron. You tried to Harvey Weinstein her while pretending you out here just having women throw their box at you, right? Meanwhile, you over here trying to get her. All right, well, listen, all right, I don't bring people on my platform. I don't date. Okay, all right. So I gotta date you for you to be on my platform. What? Like, nigga, we got you in 4K, my boy. Let's just be real. That's you,
sex with them, yet calling them 304s, which is the red pill slang for hoes. Or maybe it's when they say that single mothers are used goods and they're worthless, but then get caught being married to a previous single mother who they lied about and said that her daughter was his niece because he was just too ashamed to admit that he loved a single mother and her daughter.
I got a 13-year-old niece that stays here at least twice a week.
And so as we now look at her application on the screen,
yes,
in the section it states, do you have dependents? Yes. Does dependent live with you? Yes. Dependent's age, 10 years old.
Or, of course, when they call out...
Yo, this shit was crazy. Yo, chat, some of y'all who are new, y'all don't get it, bro. When this stuff was going down, it was big news because Donovan Sharp was with Devin for a very long time. Like, it was insane how long he was with Devin. I'm even of the opinion that Devin saved this man, Donnie Boy's life. Okay, because if it wasn't for Devin, all right, Donnie Boy would probably lost all his money to that 19-year-old heroin addict he borrowed thousands of dollars from his brother to propose to. Okay, I'm just being real with you. I think Devin is the absolute reason why Donovan Sharp was able to get a second chance in his mid-40s at whatever you call it, a life. All right, so here's the crazy thing to me. If a woman is willing to do that for you, why would you then insinuate for her to lie about her daughter? And I don't think Devin's shit for doing this. I think she's a horrible person just for denying her own daughter for a man she's dating. He wasn't even your husband. Y'all getting married this month. Y'all getting married this month. He wasn't your husband then, but yet you were willing to call your own daughter your niece? That's crazy to me. For a man you don't even, you barely knew at the time. Right? I just find that insane. Okay, she's a 10-year-old daughter. How did that even, like, just think about it as a mother. Like, you got all these content creators calling up your boy, right? And he's just referring to your daughter as a niece. And the reason why I mentioned this is because there was a particular podcast Donnie Boy did that actually referenced that information, right? And it was done with someone else that I kind of look at with a sus eye, all right? And some of y'all may not agree with me, but it's Coach Greg Adams. I look at him sus because Coach Greg Adams knew that information about Donnie Boy. He knew for a fact because he was in the house when Donnie Boy was talking about it. We reacted to that podcast, right? It was a little bit, it was like a minute of it. The whole thing has been deleted, but we got a little bit of the video, right? Where he was talking about Devin's daughter, right? And he referred to her as his niece, but there was a later revelation came out that Mr. Coach Greg Adams knew. He knew about the whole thing, but he was all about the paper. He's all about the money. So Coach Greg Adams didn't care. All right, I'm not saying that he's a bad coach or anything like that. I'm not saying he did that. I'm just saying, bruh, dog, you knew all this shit. You're doing the CMEs. You're doing the 21 convention at the same time. All right, you know all the dirt. You just out here just skating around getting this money. But again, what kind of woman denies her own child just for the cameras? Okay, so shout out to Red Pill Examine for digging through and finding this info. Because again, Anthony Johnson exposed it a long time ago. This is why we knew the information. But this right here is evidence that, yeah, that's your kid, Devin. And Donnie, you married a single mama. Okay, so maybe you ought to change your rhetoric because maybe not all single moms are bad. You and what's that name? Minister Jap, right? Minister Jap, he's all on that bullshit too. Anti-single mamas. But that's who you guys are dating and who your boy's about to marry. So what gives? Are you gonna prevent another young man from having that same experience too? You know, with a woman who could potentially lift him up out of the bullshit like your woman did to you, Donnie? I mean, just be real. You probably wouldn't have a YouTube career if it wasn't for her money. Brokey, because we knew you was broke. Donnie, how do you steal from your own daddy, bro? That's crazy.
Girls for being fake and having plastic surgery and using makeup, but then get hair plugs.
Look at his guts. Yo! Did he actually do a video breaking down his hair plugs? Oh, I gotta find it. Oh, I gotta find this video. Oh no! I didn't know it existed. No wonder your hairline looks so fucked up. It's permanent, my nigga. Oh my God! This is why these girls was clowning you, Myron. You got your. Why didn't you ask for your hairline to be brought up right here on the edges? If you gonna have all these hair put in, how you gonna have your hairline start from way back here? Like you could at least have them put a little bit more plugs up here, you know, making like my shit don't start like a half mohawk, right? It's looking like I got real hair out here. Now you got a toupee on. That's cool. I gotta react to this. This gotta be a real freaking video, dog. I gotta find this
on their own podcasts. Maybe it's saying that men should never settle for a girl who has had a lot of sexual partners, but sleeping with every attractive woman that they can.
A lot of girls are hoes. A lot of girls don't deserve a relationship. A lot of girls don't deserve marriage. And I know this is kind of controversial, but this is what I tell guys. I tell them you need to be at least 35 years old, have had sex with 50 girls.
Thus creating...
Listen to that! You got to be 25 years old, have sex with at least 50 girls. This seems to me you're putting arbitrary rules that don't really have anything to do with men being men or growing up and being men. There are men out there who didn't have sex with 50 women, and they're way more successful than you, Myron, moron. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, what's with all these arbitrary rules you're putting on dudes? Yeah, you got to have sex with 50 women. You know your audience can't do that. Why you lying? They can't even have sex with their hands on a good day. Okay, what are we talking about? 50 girls? You're lying. All right, again, more rules to set it up so you can pay them to teach you how to attain it. You know, the artificial goal they set. It's so cringe. I found a video of his hair transplant, by the way. We're going to have, before we get to the other video, we're going to have to cover this video. I got to see what he says about this. All right, and then we can move from there because I found the video. Let's do it.
In a world full of their alleged biggest problem and fucking up for all the guys they're supposed to be helping. The entire red pill space is basically rules for thee and not for me. Some of the funniest claims that you can disprove immediately, just if you've lived a real life at all, are that women are more than happy to let their boyfriend or husband cheat on them so long as that man is high value enough, meaning she will share her romantic partner out of fear that she couldn't get anybody so good, ignoring the fact that this person would then not be good to most women because they're not just out to use you as an ATM and live that life.
Again, and this is the thing, this is not, you know, for the red pillars out there, or not the red pillars, but the incel red pillars, right? Listen, to y'all, this makes sense. Yeah, of course, right? Treat her like shit. Of course, she's gonna love you, right? I'm a high value man. I'm in demand. All right. So by definition, a lot of the girls want me. So therefore, why do I have to be good to you, right? And you see the way they're selling this shit. They're selling it as if that they're trying to. It's almost like they're trying to get the woman to see the benefits of the fuckery, right? It's like, hey, no, women, no, listen, I know I get to cheat on you, right? It's not cheating, though. It's not cheating. It's exercising options, okay? Because, like, listen, honey, being with me, I'm the most successful man out here, all right? Ain't nobody pulling in the paper I'm pulling, okay? So you should be lucky to be with a guy like me. Because, listen, you know your friend down the street, yeah, she want me too, right? She see that paper, she want me too. You see that Lambo I got? They all want the Lambo. So you are lucky, girl, not realizing that at the end of the day, all they're going to do is just cheat on you. They're going to cheat on you. They're going to disrespect you. However way they want to spin it is going to disrespect you, but they want to sell it to you as a benefit, so you sign on. So you look at these guys and say, oh, well, no, they're not. No, but they're high-value men, though. So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Listen, I know these guys tend to call women stupid, but you would be an absolute dumbass as a woman if you buy into this high-value bullshit. I'm being real with y'all. All right, it's just a way for guys to get the rocks off of other women while coming home to you and knowing fully well that you can't do shit or you shouldn't do shit, right? Which is crazy to me that y'all buy into it. Just listen to what they're saying, okay? Because no self-respecting person would adopt that ideology as canon and say, yeah, you know what? I think a woman ought to let their husbands cheat on them because it just shows that they love them. No, it just shows they don't respect you, and they don't respect you. Where's the love? I mean, show me a relationship that has no respect and there's love, and I'll show you a bridge in France that'll cost you $50 to buy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You need both. Pat Freeman with a $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Says got 2 nieces. They're going living in a world man can't handle rejection, and got 2 older sisters getting worried. Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think for fathers with daughters, uncles with nieces, people with women in their lives or girls in their lives, and whether you're a husband, a brother, sister, or you're in a mentorship role, right? You gotta be this is something you need to be wary of, because this is what a lot of men, again, the red pill and the manosphere, the bigger it gets. A lot of people are saying it's going away. No, they just became Republican. It's not going anywhere, bro. The red pill is staying where it is. Okay, but you got to understand, the bigger it is they get, the more young guys are going to buy into this kind of mindset, because they're already coming from the perspective that the women are beneath them. Okay, this is the kind of Hitler class type of separation bullshit I'm talking about. If they're already viewing women as completely different from who they are, right, and like downplaying them, especially Andrew Tate's war room classes, yo, you got to really, that's a real problem. You can't be surprised if a young man who's in an Andrew Tate type course, who thinks women are nothing more, they offer nothing more but their bodies and things like that. It's not surprised to see some kid who watches that for a living, or at least, I'm not drawing parallels here, but it's not hard to see someone who's frustrated with women in their actual life, who can see something like that, get a sense of that entitlement, get a woman to say no, and then stab her. Matter of fact, everyone's like talking about this young girl that got stabbed. I've seen videos of men who can't handle their own emotions so much that when a girl rejects them, they're straight up punching her in the face. They're straight up like haymaking the girl in the face. Haymakering, is that even the word? But that's what's happening. What's wrong with this society where you think that's a good thing to do when a woman says no? All right. And so what if somebody who has more authority than you says no? What are you gonna do then? Punch them in the face? I mean, it's just insane what we're teaching men nowadays. But then we're going to turn around and say, well, we're disenfranchised. And the reason why this stuff is happening is because men are disenfranchised. Y'all can't play that game. Y'all cannot play that game. We either need to be leaders like we're saying we are, right? Because we're strong people physically. So we need to take responsibility for all of that shit. And then, do what we need to do to make the world function, okay? Or we can sit here and complain and compare our lives to women, okay? But it doesn't mean you're going anywhere as a man. And you're going to end up still doing the same bullshit you're out here doing with other people's daughters and sisters and nieces and things like that. Getting frustrated at them because you can't handle your own fucking emotions. It's going to be a wild world out there. Shout out to you, Pat, for the super chat. I'm worried. Like, I'm definitely coaching my daughter. Yeah, no. If they blow up, they can't handle the mentality, the anger, their feelings. Leave them alone. They leave them alone. They keep them back in the oven. They need more time, and it's not ready yet. I'm sorry. Educated Pookie. Shout out to you for educated Pookie. Shout out to you for the 2010. He says Myron's got the white man's weave and the hairline. Facts. He had it set up right here. See, at least look, my hairline's like way back here. I got a salute from the top of my forehead. See, this is why I wear a hat, right? But instead of getting hair plugs and shaming people and all that stuff like that. I don't care much about the vanity stuff, right? Sometimes, hey, yo, go look at my skits. I've done skits on here. Y'all want to see my hairline so bad? Y'all can do it. There were people in the chat who literally made a profile about my own hairline and curtains. That shit was wild. But again, it just shows you these guys have insecurities and things like that, right? So if anything, why not get your hairline to start right here? Like, why start it all the way back here where it looked like you got a freaking what is that? What is that haircut? What was that hair called? A mullet. He got a halfway mullet, bro. Like, you got your hairline starting at the side of your head, bro. Like, what's going on? But again, like, these are the same guys who want to talk about women being insecure, women being emotional, but here they are caring about their appearance and whatnot. Oh my God, listen, I gotta care about how I look, and I gotta get the transplants and I get the things. It's like, why? Like, listen, like, most of my people in my family are bald. They got bald and big shoulders. I know where I'm gonna end up. Like, what you talking about, bro? Why don't you accept your fate, Myron? Huh? You don't. Again, it just shows you're insecure. But then it's the women now. It's the women, Myron. Really, bro? Oh, come on, bro. But you're right. It looked like he got a mullet. That's what he looked like. If he grows that any longer, it's going to be a mullet. John with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you. If the kid wasn't Devon's, there's no way she would be able to continuously claim her on taxes if she has a mom and dad who could, right? IRS don't play that. IRS wouldn't play that. That's grounds for prison time. Like, you're claiming out, but there are people who do this shit. There are people who you go to them, right? And you pay them, and they'll let you use one of their kids on their tax, and then you get money from it. Like, you be scamming out here. Like, it's real. I won't be surprised if that's one of the shit Donnie Boy was trying to do, right? But again, you're absolutely right. That's wrong. Right, and Devon was wrong for that. That's why I don't respect her. I in addition to the fact that she's with a guy like Donovan Sharp, a guy who says a 19-year-old heroin addict, he would never love a woman as much as he loved her, while knowing fully well he's getting married to Devin this month. If you were his fiance, and this is for the ladies in the chat, I gotta ask y'all this because maybe listen. I'm a great value man. I'm the Walmart version of what these guys claim to be. So don't look at me, ladies. All right, I'm just letting y'all know. But I gotta ask you this question, okay? If you were getting married to a guy like Donovan Sharp, and you hear him on social media talking about how his ex-girlfriend, who almost ruined his life, okay, he still is in love with her, knowing fully well you're getting ready to marry this man this month. How many of you ladies in the chat right now, just put a 1 if you'd call off the wedding? Like, hey, if you do that, to me, you got respect for yourselves, all right? But if you don't, I mean, okay, no harm, no foul. It is what it is. I'm just saying you need to understand what you're getting into. But ladies, answer in the chat, because to me, it just seems that Devin, she almost has no shame. Like, she got no shame in herself. Like, you're going to deny your kid and then married to a guy who disrespects you online? Get out of here.
This is not how adult relationships work with the vast majority of people. Essentially, the whole red pill seems to be a way to justify living the life of a teenage boy's dream.
Facts!
With a different Instagram model or OnlyFans girl every night, telling everyone who disagrees with the red pill that they are a beta male, blue-pilled soy boy. But this is a lie. The whole red pill is a lie. You only have to engage with the simplest concept to understand that. For example, these guys preach that the way to break free of all your problems is to become a high-value man, meaning that
that's
you're
the trap.
And wealthy. The percentage of people who are in shape and wealthy is like 3% or lower. So
hey, tater tarts. Hey, you guys are the ones saying we're in the Matrix, right? How can you beat math? How can y'all beat math? Only 3% of this world are gonna be high value, at least to the level Andrew Tate's talking about. So how can y'all just come out here and say, oh well, he's changed my life. I'm successful now. How? Again, y'all are millionaires in the comment section only. That's it. Hey, you ain't no high value out here going. Listen, only 3% of people can hit that number. And they know. That's the scam. That's the scam, right? It is what it is. Sneeko, he played a whole role in perpetuating this, right? Because he would shout down people who didn't believe in his red pill tenets, right? You remember how he was going at Abba and Preach? Y'all remember how he went at Abba and Preach? Okay, now look at how he also went at Playback. Y'all remember that? Low in Asia, how he went after them, right? The main criticism he had for them was they weren't going hard enough, right? In the red pill, right? They weren't going hard enough. Fast forward, we're still in 2023. Fast forward a couple months later, Sneeko's the one backpedaling from this whole red pill thing. Sneeko's the same one quoting Abba, what Abba said to him back when Sneeko was younger, didn't know better, and tried to tell Abba what he didn't know. right? And I was telling him, like, hey, listen, the money, the women, that shit don't matter. All right, the more you get older, the more things in life that, you find more valuable. Sneeko downplayed that. Now, when he's built this audience of people who want to see nothing else but this red pill bullshit, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's like, hey, you guys are weirdos for just sitting there wanting me to talk about women all day. Wait, what? Wait, hold up. You were doing that. Some of them are like, I subscribed to you for that, bro. How you gonna do me like this, Sneeko? We were supposed to shame women together. I subscribe to you, nigga. That's why Sneeko's still getting that hate, right? Because like people subscribe to him because of that hate he was spewing out there. All of a sudden, he wants to go to IRL streaming. He doesn't want to do this stuff anymore, right? But Sneeko knows this too as well, right? Matter of fact, Sneeko does something even more devious, right? He reflects back to numbers like this, right? Where he says he's saving men's lives and he's helping a lot of men be better. But if we look at the actual numbers, there's only 3% of people that can be where Andrew Tate is or where Sneeko is aspiring to be. Not even Sneeko himself is there yet. Not even Zerka, who claims to be there, is there yet. These guys aren't even what you would call in the legitimate 3%, but yet they turn around to sell you courses to tell you how to get there. Meanwhile, you're funding their pockets and helping them actually get there. Make it make sense. How are we the ones who are sleeping in the Matrix when we could see all of this shit unfolding? You tater tards need to wake up. Y'all are being bamboozled. John with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat, John. Says, if sex with women was the decision on a man's success, Myron fails. You're right. You're actually, you're right. He says, since he is a zaddy chaser, Emeru likes them white boys from, oh shit. He said he liked the white boys from Suburbia. Hold up. What white boys? You mean these white boys over here? I gotta figure out what white boys you're talking about. Myron likes white boys. Where are these? Did I have that photo? These white boys right here? Is this guy right here? Is it John? Let me know. Put a 1, John. I'm gonna look out in the chat for you. Put a 1 if this the white boys you're talking about. Oh, by the way, this guy probably low-key racist, dog. Like, I like, listen, I looked at this dude's profile, this white boy over here, this dude. I'm not going to say his name, things like that, but I actually forgot his name, so that's why I'm not going to say it, but I don't think it deserves to be said. I think he's racist, bro, because even some of the posts where he refers to Myron, he says that Myron is his Negro or his black friend or something like that. It's weird. Like, this guy drops the N-word. It just shows me, like, looking at their relationship, Myron is the type of guy to let guys like him drop the M-bomb heavy and still be cool with it. That's why Myron is his black friend, right? I mean, we see how Myron behaves with Zerka. He let Zerka let it slide. He let it slide with Zerka. He's like, whatever, right? The other black dude, all right, he wanted to throw them hands with Zerka. That was Prime. Prime said, we throwing hands, bro. All right, we throwing hands. You can say the N-word again, right? And then what happened? Zerka, no more N-word for Zerka. No amount of cocaine on this planet is going to put Zerka back in that ring. Guarantee it. That's not me saying it. That's Zerka. I mean, he was breathing after the second round. Bro's breathing was worse than Tony Soprano's. Like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, dude, it's the second round, Zerka. How are you breathing this hard, okay? But Myron just lets people get away with it, right? Again, these guys will let white folks like this disrespect them, all right? And then turn around to black people who are actually demanding respect from white people and saying, hey, you guys don't respect yourself. Why should white people respect you? It's like, wait, what? Wait a minute. I'm not the one to let people say N-words around me, especially if they know for a fact that they do shit. They shouldn't be saying that shit, right? I'm not going to let that happen, right? So wait a minute, Myron, you perpetuate a stereotype, all right? And then you blame us for trying to break it down. That's crazy.
By that definition, it cannot happen to 97% of their audience, meaning they're giving very specific advice to a very small number of people, but the vast majority of people are listening and it isn't solving any of their massive problems. It's actually making it worse. Maybe if you are a multimillionaire who's in good shape, you can treat women the way that they do. But the problem is that when the vast majority of their audience is hearing that advice and seeing how they live, and then they're treating women the same way, that's not helping them. That is hurting them. And since the title of this video will be something about how incredibly successful and profitable the business of exploiting lonely men is, let's look at how successful it is. Fresh and Fit is probably the biggest self-help guru red pill podcast, and
you can't deny it. These guys are like literally the springboard for a lot of weirdos to get famous on the red pill. They're a very important platform. That's why, like, if their platform gets deleted both on Rumble and YouTube, that would be the end of the red pill. Guaranteed. They're like literally the backbone of this shit that's still left.
pulling in tens of millions of views per month on just YouTube alone, which used to be, before they got demonetized, easily over $50,000 a month just in ads, without product placement, without donations from their fans, without their courses that they sell.
High value academy. You pay me $700. You go through an academy to be a high value man. You got to be some kind of tard to pay for this shit. I mean, come on. The Patreon I can understand, and the Patreon is not free. I don't know why. They're saying it's free down here. It ain't free, right? DMs all the man. It used to be $800, by the way, chat. Remember when Fresh came out with that story about how an NBA player invited him to a party and he's had a threesome at that party? But it was weird how they met up with the NBA player, because the NBA player that met up with Fresh was also himself looking for a party, but somehow already knew he had a party planned later and then invited Fresh to that party. But the whole reason why he met Fresh because he was looking for a party. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. It's like, huh? So he told that story, but at the time when Fresh was telling that story, the DMs on the man was $800. $800. I'm surprised they cut the price down to $497. So about $500 plus tax. You can learn how to, your text game, right? Again, if you guys aren't sleeping in the Matrix, I don't know what is. He's gonna teach you text game. We've looked at Myron's text game, especially with Anna Quinn. It wasn't good. All right. I don't invite people to my podcast unless I'm dating them. Huh? Real smooth, jackass. What the fuck was that? Like, that's your risk game? Or what? You gonna be teaching people how to be mini Harvey Weinstein? Is that what it is? Hey, you want to know how to, get your girls on DMs on Demand? First of all, you got to start a podcast. All right. Once your podcast successful, then you start inviting girls on Instagram. All right. And you got to make sure you leverage the podcast, right? I'm pretty sure that's probably, it's probably in one of these courses. It's like, Hey, start your own channel and then invite girls over and then make them sleep with you before they come on your show. It don't matter how big your podcast is. You can have 22 subscribers, okay? You can have 22 subscribers, but you got to lie about that shit. Wait, you can't hide your subs on YouTube no more. Hey, honey, I got 22 subs. You wanna come to my podcast? You wanna sleep with me and come to my podcast? I'll let all my 22 fans sign up to your OnlyFans. Like, I'm sorry, chat. Like, we know Myron's game. What is a $500 course from him gonna teach you men? I'm asking y'all niggas, okay? You fresh and fit tards that claim this guy helps you. How is a course from him, knowing fully well what his game is like, how has it helped you so far? Again, they're only pimps and millionaires in these niggas' comment section. That's all it is, bro. They only exist there.
There are other platforms like Rumble, and you don't have to go far to see just how low effort and low class this space can be in terms of the people that can pull in millions of views, earning hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions a year. I mean, just look at this dude. He's a VTuber of a low animated JPEG vampire who never shows his face, and his entire content is reacting to women on TikTok, telling his audience of bitter, angry, and lonely men that all the women on the videos are used up 304s who no one will ever love, and how it's all their own fault. It's basically not giving anybody advice, just a space to come where they can point at women and say, haha, that's your fault, you didn't love me.
It's so cheap. It's such a cheap way of making content. It's not even funny, right? And listen, I mean, some people can argue, oh, Duke, well, you laugh at manosphere people all the time, and you laugh at all these other weirdos. Like, I would consider that pretty cheap. Okay, you can call it that. It is what it is. I mean, that's one thing, right? It's one thing to clown people and do things like that, right? And I would argue, if you're going to call me cheap for clowning a lot of these red pillars, I would call their content pretty cheap as well, right? Because all they're doing is talking about women all fucking day. It's getting so weird that these guys, they're talking about women's reproductive cycles and bullshit, right? It's like you guys are talking about women so much, you're mapping out, okay, well, this is the level where she's feeling where she could be as hypergamous or maybe not as hypergamous, so you want to date her at this point in time versus, it's like, y'all are weird. Like, y'all are so weird. So let me get this straight. Me clowning them about doing this shit is weird, but them looking at women's TikToks and just finding every little nitpick thing to do and talk about them, you don't find that weird and obsessive? See, that's how I know y'all got a problem. I don't spend my time talking about women all day. I got enough women in my life that I don't need to spend time talking about them all day. And that's what these incels don't realize. Okay, people who have something in abundance, they don't need to be going online and seeking content for that very same reason. You understand that, right? So again, you all are just exposing yourselves, especially you incels. You come in the comment section, oh, well, look at this guy. He only does is talk about men all day. I can't fathom talking about men all day. Yeah, we know, because you take too much of your time talking about women all day and they don't even care about you. That's the sad part. They don't know you weirdos exist. Isn't that so sad? Y'all spend your day talking about all these people, but they don't know you exist. I mean, it's just so fucking sad, right? So you incels got to wake up. This is cheap too. You gonna call my shit cheap? This is cheap. He's got an avatar and he's just, let me just play women's content on repeat on TikTok. It's cheap. All right, so get over yourself. Y'all are just weird. I mean, look at this guy. What is it supposed to be, anyways? John with the 2 super chat says Myron cuddles with white boys who say nigga. Yeah, listen. I was gonna say, y'all remember? Y'all know put a 1 if y'all know Long Beach Griffey. Y'all, I know some of y'all know who Long Beach Griffey is, bro. All right, y'all remember it was a live stream on Instagram with, I don't know, I think it was Abba. He and Abba did a live stream, and he was talking about, I think he was joking, but he was joking about how he wanted his white girl to call him the N-word in the bedroom while having sex, right? It was just the weirdest thing ever. Myron likes that. Myron, if you got a white dude, just drop the N-bomb. Oh yeah, it gets Myron turned on. He likes one. Look, no, I'm serious. If you go on that dude that's he's hugging up on, if you go on his profile, like, this guy says the most insultive shit about black folks, right? But he's referring to Myron. That's the thing. And I guess Myron is cool with the jokes because he say, oh yeah, this is my N-word friend. It's like, huh? Who's cool with that? Like, I don't know why, but I guess Myron's cool with it because, I mean, they're still buddies. So, again, that's what they do on the rowing team. Okay, I'm not part of that. I don't do the elite rolling thing. Okay, I just play football. I don't know. I'm not elitist. Okay, I just do the grimy shit, right? So again, great value over here. We're not off high value stock like Myron, who goes to colleges with rowing teams. Okay.
So it's good that you're upset and bad things are happening in your life. It's plain and simple people just feeling content to live in hate. In the real world, the solution to men's problems don't need all of this. And it definitely doesn't need all the conspiracy theories, anti-Semitism, racism, and other nonsense that gets platformed at the same time by all these podcasts and manosphere grifters. Obviously, I've acknowledged the problem is real, that there is a growing number of men who are really struggling with how to live their life. But there are things that they can do. And I'm also sure that these platforms or these people do sometimes give good advice, and people have made positive steps in their life due to that advice and would claim that they've been helped by Andrew Tate and the Red Pill and things like that. I'm not saying that that's not possible, but there's a limit to the advice that they're giving where it goes overboard into very, very unhelpful things. Of course, you should definitely go to the gym. You should eat right. You should sleep at a regular time for 8 hours if you can. Most importantly, you should find hobbies that put you in the real world with your peers.
You know what's crazy? Andrew Tate created his version of the real world, but put it online. If you want to talk about the Matrix, come on, man. These guys can actually be in the real world, but the only real world they want to participate in is Andrew Tate's. Literally. It's got hundreds of thousands of downloads. And I don't know why Apple hasn't canceled it yet. But it's still a thing. So it just shows you a lot of these men, they find solace online. It is what it is. Glassy Eyes with $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Says F&F audience knows those Giga Chads are rare. Facts. Miley consistently reminds his female panel on the scarcity of them. Why the guys don't realize the reverse, they wouldn't be able to become one, is crazy. Exactly. I mean, Myron is literally telling them over and over again, hey, high value men are rare. That's why women want to be them. But then they're selling you courses in abundance so you could be high value. That doesn't make any sense. It's like they're almost selling something they know is not going to work. Wait a minute. Right. Right? It's crazy. Like, how do y'all not pick this shit up yet? You either have to be fucking stupid or literally you've allowed yourself to be brainwashed into a cult, which I think this is. It's some kind of I don't even know how it's worse. I don't want to say it's worse than Jamestown. That shit was horrible, but it's up there, especially with the cult of Tate. Oh my God. I mean, paying $8,000 just to join a group of people that ain't gonna do shit for you when you really need it. That's I don't know about y'all, but listen, maybe I don't know a whole lot about money. Maybe because I'm great value, okay? I'm the Walmart brand. I don't understand money. But to me, $8,000 is a lot of money. I would rather invest $8,000 in some kind of index fund and just let it go from there. Maybe throw $100 a month every month after that, or the $50 a month you're paying for Hustles University, you just toss that in every month and see what happens, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm dumb. I'm a dumbass. I don't know how to spend money or manage money or anything like that, but I know for a fact, maybe y'all can help me understand this. I'm not spending $8,000 for a random bald dude that thinks he's the new age messiah. I'm sorry. That's not happening. I'm looking at you like you some kind of crazy person and you trying to scam me. That's what it is. If I got to pay the price of a used Honda to get into your course, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? But these men, they can't figure it out yet. All right. But yet they're trying to convince us that they're the smart ones who are enlightened and they see through the matrix. Huh? So you getting out the matrix is buying into the same capitalist matrix that make all these billionaires rich in the first place. Okay. Okay. Like, it's so weird. All right. So shout out to KiraTv. I already subscribed. All right. But we got another one to play because this alpha male bullshit is getting crazy. All right. Another person who recently called it out is Charlie. Now, we haven't reacted to a Charlie video in a minute. And the last time we reacted to Charlie was when Sneeko was fucking up. And y'all remember? This is a mag, not a clip. Y'all remember that? Yeah, we remember. Yeah, we remember it. We don't forget over here. But Charlie did another video because apparently this manosphere, I won't say manosphere shit, but like this men's health bullshit that it's actually taking on a very nefarious like form out there in the real world. All right, there are a bunch of people who have these courses. Like there's like you talk about $8,000 for the Andrew Tate course. You think that's bad? Try 18. I shit you not, bro. Try paying up to 20 grand to join what the video we're going to be playing next, okay? So shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Alicia, because Alicia, this is all you, baby. Thank you so much for this video recommendation. But we're going to play this right now because I found this absolutely hilarious. And if you men don't realize you've been scammed by now, okay, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Like, y'all don't deserve help at this point because there's so many people telling you that, but then you're laughing at us, and then these guys are coming in the filling up the gap and scamming you. Like 18 bands, my nigga. Like, really? You got that much to spend? But you can't. Let me tell you. Wait, hold on. I gotta make that. Hold up, chat. This gotta make sense to me. All right. You'd rather spend $18,000 on some random guy for 3 days to better help your life versus spending that $18,000 in a way that could better serve you. I don't get it. I don't, but maybe Charlie can help us explain.
On this subject, and I'm downright ashamed of myself for being this late. I need to be more educated on alpha male boot camps because this is glorious. A lot of YouTubers have talked about this recently. It's called the MDK Project, the Modern Day Night Project. And basically, you pay $18,000 to spend 3 days getting blasted with a hose and digging your own grave while being yelled at. But you know what? Let's go ahead and hear them out. How much does this project cost? The project is $18,000. However, this is
it's like going from a used Honda from $8,000, all right, to a Ford Expedition, brand new. That's what we're looking at, right? Maybe not brand new, but like let's say low miles, all right. For $18,000, you get a really nice car for that. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. But guys would rather spend 18 grand on a 3-day trip to get hosed down with water by other dudes. Oh my God, bro. There's no hope. There's no hope for y'all dudes, bro. I'm telling you right now, there's no hope.
It's not just for the 75-hour experience, but also a 12-month in-depth coaching and mentorship program that focuses on developing an even higher level of personal excellence, self-mastery, leadership, and even more financial freedom.
Yo, look at this shit. Yo, this nigga literally had the balls to say, you pay me 18 grand in 3 days, we'll teach you the tools to help you secure financial freedom. Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck the hey, you want to help me secure financial freedom? Tell me how to spend my $18,000 better than leaving it with you. How about that? How about that? Wait a minute. Again, chat, do you notice some of the same lingo that you see a lot of these manosphere gurus spit out there? Right? Oh, better your life, be more successful. Right? It's all these vague terms, right, that they wrap all this crap up in, but yet they want you to spend $18,000, B. $18,000. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You spend $18,000 on any one of these bozos, they're not gonna help you make money because you're already fucked. I'm just saying that right now. John, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. John says some niggas like snow bunnies. Some niggas like snow bunnies, calling them that with the hard R, like Duke and I. Whoa, pause. He says we love that replay. Not me. Not me. He says, pause, dude. I can't believe you read this. I can't believe I just read this. Bro, I had it on the screen. I still read it. My kid. You see, they just show you, bro. I be trying to get to this story. Y'all know I am invested in this right now, chat. So please help me out. Hit the like button. But let's go. Hey, chat. Let me ask you this real quick before we move on. How many of you, all right, we're going with the ones and twos right now, will pay $18,000 for 75 hours to better your life? Put a 2 in the chat if you would do it. Put a 1 if you won't. All right. So let's switch it up a little bit. All right. Let me know what you would do. Would you do it? Put a 2. All right. Yes or no. Put a 1. I want to know. That'd be very interesting because I'm not doing it. 75 hours.
More like the lack thereof financial freedom. $18,000 in the shitter for this, and all you do is get a monthly Zoom call with some goofballs that'll just bestow upon you the wisdom of drop shipping. But sorry, there's still a very important sentence here. But the cost of not experiencing the project and mastermind and not becoming the leader, husband, and father you're meant to be is much more expensive in the long run.
Again, more bullshit, more trickery, right? He's saying, right, to justify you paying 18 grand, you're going to lose more money in the long run. I'm sorry, bro. 18 grand? Yo, most people can't even have $1,000 in their savings. Do you understand that? That's the majority of America to date, all right? We got student loans that are about to be due for a lot of people right now, all right? Some of y'all are freaking out. It's about to be due. That's extra money you had that wouldn't be there because you got to pay your student loans. And for those of you guys that didn't get that forgiveness program, sorry, you're SOL, right? So where is the money coming from? It seems like you pay $18,000 right now. You are probably going to be financially destitute. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, you're guaranteeing you will be financially destitute in the future. Unless you have 18,000 rolling around. All right. In this case, I guess, why not? Rich people have paid for worse, right? But if you don't have that money, this will almost guarantee you that you're going to go broke. They're doing it in easy 12-month installments, right? Right? I mean, well, not installments, I'm sorry. You say 12-month in-depth coaching program. That's what they want you to believe, right? That's part of the stuff that they're charging underneath that. You get to talk to a guy on a webcam for 12 months. That's not worth it. For 12 months? In 3 days? That's fucking dumb, bro. Again, these guys, they don't get it. They don't get it. If you pay for this, you're guaranteeing you're not going to have money. But they wrap it up in there to make you feel as though that you're going to miss out, right? The FOMO. Hey, listen, you don't join us, you're not going to be part of this elite group that makes a shit ton of money. Like, I mean, come on. Look, Andrew Tate, right? The Hustlers University, people making 10 grand a month, right? Sign up. Even though those guys were liars, right? But they'll tell you that if you miss out, the consequences of you missing out is going to cost more than you paying them $18,000. I find that very, very, very insane.
I'm convinced. Sign me up. I'm losing money by not investing in this course right now. $18,000 to get shot with a hose sounds pretty good when they put it this way, because I wasn't thinking long term, right? It's $18,000 now up front into their piggy bank, but think about 10 years from now. It's going to cost me so much more money by not having that experience, because then I'm not going to be the leader and husband I was meant to be. Because as a leader and a husband, you're always getting hit with hoses. So we need to learn how to defend ourselves and how to become a real man. And the only way to do that is by taking this 3-day course where you just get waterboarded and yelled at.
Yo!
And also, the Zoom call is a nice cherry on top. Who doesn't want a monthly Zoom call with the boys, especially when they're as successful as these gentlemen here? Look at this star-studded cast of superstars, world champion athletes, special operation vets, world-class thought leaders.
Yo!
Which, by the way, I love that term, a thought leader. I think about success.
Doesn't this remind you of Donnie Boy CME? Like how they get these weirdos and these overt alpha dudes to come in like, oh, we're special operations. What was Jack Murphy? Wasn't Jack Murphy one of these dudes, right? Wasn't he one of these guys? Right? Jack Murphy, you can see in this, and look how it turned out for him. Not very good, did it? Right? But I'm just saying, bro, like, think about this. World champion athletes. What the fuck does that mean? Are we talking about Andrew Tate here? Because he's not world champion. It was a D League. That was a D League, dog. That wouldn't be a C League status, my dude. Like, so what are we talking about here? This right here does not entice me to pay you 18 grand. But again, there are people who do this. This looks like a convention written all over it.
One of the best people in the world at thinking about being successful. You need to learn from my thoughts. I know it has a real definition, but it's still so fucking goofy that they advertise that here. And of course, 8 to 9 figure generating entrepreneurs. And also, the head honcho is going to share with you the same empire building strategies that he used to create multiple 7, 8, and 9 figure companies from the ground up. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the Krabby Patty secret formula, even without investing the $18,000. Hopefully this doesn't get me sued. I imagine those galaxy brain lucrative strategies all revolved around taking advantage of desperate, vulnerable men that are willing to pay $18,000 to LARP as some kind of soldier for 3 days under the impression that it's somehow going to make them a better man or a more financially successful one. I'm just spitballing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to break the magician's code, but I think that's probably how he generates so much money, is by exploiting that desperation. These men are sadly the coin block, and he is Mario, constantly jumping up to pop a few extra coins out of there. He is selling to your insecurities, and you're buying in a big way. He's making a ton of money off of this shit. But you know what? Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe he's got a good heart here, and the lessons at the MDK program are invaluable. So let's go ahead and take one of their big selling points of the 3-day experience that's going to shatter your self-doubt and limiting beliefs, gain clarity in your life's work and purpose, heal from trauma that makes you feel broken and unworthy, and dig deep into your past to uncover the experiences holding you back. Let's see how they help tap into that and help you heal from trauma, for starters.
Shut up! One more fucking word, you're gone. I'm not fucking around. Shut up, stop rolling your fucking eyes, stop asking for fucking electrolytes, and be a fucking man. I don't give a fuck what you do when you're home. You are not impressing me here with your little fucking machines and shit. You're good because you have all these fucking comforts. Shut the fuck up and be a team player and go fucking join your team. You say another fucking word, you're gone.
That just healed my trauma witnessing that. That was worth every penny of the $18,000 to go there and get fucking yelled at for, I don't know what. Talking about some kind of machines. I don't know if this guy was building drones. He must be like Jimmy Neutron with all kinds of inventions that he's letting loose at the facility. I don't know.
Think about this, chat. Who pays 18 grand for some guy to just scream in your face and make you feel like shit? I mean, I feel like this is the ultimate glorification for some of these guys who run these programs, right? Because it's almost like a way for them to abuse men further than what they're already being abused right now. Because think about it. You paid them 18 grand, okay? Just for them to just shit, yell, and like just reduce you to nothing but trash, right? Just for 3 days. Think about it. They're convincing you that's making you a man, right? Meanwhile, they're probably in a little coffee hut talking about, hey, I can't believe this loser paid this 18 grand to call him a loser. Like, can you think about it? I mean, look at this guy. Like, how did it? What? They're laughing at him. I wouldn't respect them either. Like, you paid me 18 grand to say this. Oh, yeah, you a dumbass. Oh, yeah. I doesn't feel stupid. Your mama don't like you. Right? Think about this. Is you got to be a certain kind of mentality. I think a lot of these gurus, they get off on this shit. I guarantee you they get off on this shit, bro. Mesocram, shout out to you for the $5, $10 super chat. $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Says, like Myron seems like, he says, like Myron seems like Cheyenne likes running around making noise and scratching her ass like an ape. Hopefully she's not into KKK cosplay or Nazi salutes. People are taking race play a whole new level. Yeah, isn't that his new girl? I don't know. She seemed like she'll be down for that nonsense, right? You saw how she was speaking when she was risen up the porn star, and she sounded exactly like Myron. Hi, how are you? Where you from? What do you do? Oh, you're a porn star. Myron, did you know what she does for work? It's like, huh? Like, honey, do you know where you are? Do you know who you're dating? I mean, this is a seeking arrangement king right here. What are you talking about? Like, it's crazy, bro. I can't help but to laugh, dog. These guys are clowns.
Oh, I don't know what he was getting yelled at because it wasn't very clear. He just keeps telling him to shut up, even though the guy hasn't said a word or anything at all. He's just standing there taking it.
Look at his shirt. Are we lying? It's just water, Kowalski. Stop being a little girl.
The more you do it, the more you're gonna fucking get it.
Keep the fucking down. It's water. You were just in the fucking ocean. This is fresh water. You grew up doing this as a kid. Everybody on your feet.
Yes, Mr.
I don't know why they're so fixated on water. I think they just saw that in an action movie one time and were like, damn, we've got to integrate this into the program. Because like half of the clips they showcase is just them spraying the people with hoses and then like occasionally pseudo waterboarding them. Imagine paying $18,000 to get waterboarded. What an experience. And also half of these videos just have them laying on the ground, either crawling around or just getting sprayed with water, or having them get hit with waves in the ocean as they lay on the beach. Like, they are laying down more often than a vampire in a coffin. Like, what is this supposed to teach you? They just to lay down and take punishment forever? And we're also going to yell at you because fuck you, but thanks for the money. This is basically just teaching you when the going gets tough, lay down and give up. And do it with a smile on your face and no money to your name. It all runs so counterintuitive to like this perception of what a man is. Like, I feel like it's just the guys behind this program really have some kind of fetish for humiliating dudes that pay them or something. It's kind of like pay piggy behavior, but amplified. So they just bring these guys out who are desperate and wanting to better themselves, and they just degrade them and call it beneficial somehow. Hey, lay down, and then occasionally carry this block of wood on your back and like walk a mile or so. That does nothing. And they keep framing it like,
It's when we have to go fight another war. What happens when your wife or your kid needs you?
what are you going to do when a war comes? What are you going to do when a bad guy is about to kill your wife and son? Well, Jinkies, zoink Scoob, with all the lessons I've learned at the MDK program, I'm just going to lay down on the floor and wait for him to kill them and then me. And I'll do it with a smile on my face and tell him thank you on the way out, I guess. Because that's all you're fucking teaching. I had to mute this audio because it was copyright, but it's just the same old hoopla everyone's heard a million times. Your wife didn't marry a boy. She didn't want another son. She wanted a man. And to be a man, you got to be confident. You got to be capable, courageous. You have to have the ability to protect them by any means necessary. And of course, you've always got to be prepped for the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is draining $18,000 from the joint bank account to go behind your wife's back for a little 3-day excursion field trip with your boys, pretending that you're getting some kind of valuable lesson on being a real man. That is the last thing your wife is going to want. Like, he's saying all of this on top of footage where one of the students is digging his own grave. That's one of their I don't even know what to call them, exercises. It's not an exercise. Playtime activities? I don't really know, but it's on their rubric, I guess, because they go out there and they dig their own grave. Here's footage from like a little documentary they made about it, and I'm going to have to admit to a mistake here. When I recorded it, I forgot to mute my mic, so as I'm watching it, you're going to hear me giggle a few times when one of the founders goes in and bestows upon us some sage wisdom.
Out there, fatigued, tired, exhausted, digging their own grave, laying down their body bag that we supply them, going in it, we zip them up and we throw a few shovelfuls of dirt on top of them so they feel the weight of the earth. You start kind of going through.
I don't need to pay $18,000 to do this shit, nigga. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You lay in a body bag? Oh, wait. So wait a minute. You wanna pay 18 grand to cosplay in a morgue? Is that what it is? Like, what is this, chat? What is this? Like, we just time out. First of all, I think we have something called Tough Mudder, right? Put a one in the chat if you know what Tough Mudder is, right? It's an annual event where people gather around and then figure out how tough they are by going through these obstacle courses with a bunch of different, obstacles in their terrain, right? And there's a lot of times it's muddy, right? So if you want to learn and test your skills and, be tough and whatever the hell, you can go do that, all right? And it's hell of a lot cheaper than 18 grand, and you can invite your girl, all right? Girls can do it too. Anybody can do it, right? It really tests your strength and ability to work, with people and with obstacles, right? But I'm sorry, if somebody was marketing this and say, yeah, looking at the graves over there, you see these boys in a body bag, you pay $18,000 for that. Yeah, miss me with that bullshit, dude. That's not happening. That is not happening, bro. Look at this. I bet you these dudes are getting off on this too. They're getting off on all of this. Come on, you have to. Like, how is this appealing? How does this make you a better person? Well, hey, honey, I laid in a body bag for a few days. Am I a better man to you? Am I a better lover? Fucking weirdos.
Of dirt on top of them, so they feel the weight of the earth. You start kind of going through a checklist.
Yeah, the first thing on that checklist should be never wasting money like this again. I've really fucked up with this. How does this help you be a man going into a body bag as they shovel dirt on you? Everyone knows they're going to die at some point. This isn't some kind of enlightening, shocking experience that's going to be like this eureka moment where they turn their whole life around. They paid $18,000 to lay in a body bag as a bunch of goofballs dump dirt on them. Yippee, yeehaw.
And the thing I thought of was that dash that separates my birth date and my death date on my tombstone. And in fact, that dash is the only thing that matters. That dash is the only thing that matters, because what you do between your birth date and your death date is the impact that you left, the significance that you had, the legacy that you built.
No shit. That dash is called living. He's trying so hard to be deep. He was trying to find something profound, and he's like, birth, death. But what about the in-between, the dash? Wait, that's where life was. And that's where you start to think about your legacy. Like, obviously, oh my God, yes, that dash is when you were alive. You were born, you died, and in between, you lived. So fucking obviously that's what you're going to think about, is the time you were alive. He is saying nothing. You were paying $18,000 to this malfunctioning chat GPT brained loser.
Punch in your soul right now, gentlemen.
Paid for this. You want to be here. This is where you want to be. Put your head down or quit. Put your head down or quit. Get it back. Put your head down or quit. You know what? Stand up. Stand the fuck up. Jay, don't break your chain. Hey!
This program seems more like it's mermaid training, like trying to teach them how to become fish people like Atlanteans. It's so water focused for some reason. It's like all they have over there, I guess. So here they're just laying on the beach, letting the waves crash in on them. And they like to remind them that they pay for it, just to further humiliate and degrade all of the students here that signed up for it. And then, of course, they're all locking arms because that's a sign of the brotherhood, I guess. They do that for a lot of their activities. So get up, but don't break the chain, because that means you hate your fellow men or something. It's just so goofy and sad. I legitimately feel bad for the people that are dumping $18,000 to do these courses, because they are vulnerable men that are getting preyed upon by con artists. This is not anything that is going to make anyone more successful, stronger, or better. This is just $18,000 you wasted. Now, of course, it's not easy. I'm not making the claim that it is. But you know what else isn't easy? Getting waterboarded. But you know what it doesn't help you do? Be more successful. Just because something's hard and you do it doesn't mean that you benefited from it. You know what else was hard? When I sprained my ankle and then still decided to play basketball anyway. And you know what? I played the worst game of basketball of my life. I shouldn't have played in that game. And that's a lesson I learned. Like, hopefully all of these students will going forward, that what they experienced wasn't easy. Getting blasted with the hose, being pseudo waterboarded, endless amounts of just nonsense, just to be uncomfortable for the sake of being uncomfortable, accomplished nothing and did nothing to improve their life. They just wasted money. And there's so many courses and so many guys just like this that keep exploiting these insecurities right now to make money on the back of men that are just really trying to find ways of bettering themselves. It's fucking tragic, honestly. It really is rough. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya.
A punishment.
Please don't.
A punishment. Shut up, Hans. A punishment.
Yo, that ended really quick. Hold up, because there was something I was gonna say right here. Hold up, chat. Hold up.
I am so tardy to the party.
Because he said something perfect right here. Hold on.
This is just $18,000 you wasted. Now, of course, it's not easy. I'm not making the claim that it is. But you know what else isn't easy? Getting waterboarded. But you know what it doesn't help you do? Be more successful. Just because something's hard and you do it doesn't mean that you benefited from it. You know.
Boom. Okay, I did miss it. I thought he said it way later. I did miss it. All right. Again, This is what you know what this style of training these guys do. All right, I want you guys to know something. The style of training these bozos are doing. All right, these are like SEAL training, right? This is like SEAL basic training. I think it's called like BUDS or something, basic underwater or something, right? Somebody help me out in the chat if y'all know this, right? But they are basically ripping off Navy SEAL training, at least parts of it, putting it in part of their own course, okay? And then they're charging you 18 grand for it, right? Because apparently, as a man, because you want to be macho and tough and be able to handle pain, right? So you got to pay 18 grand to prove that you're a man by going through this torture. I'm gonna tell you this: if y'all really want to do this, go join the military. Go join the Navy right now and join the SEAL program. You can do it right out of enlistment. I'm pretty sure. No, it is the SEAL program. The SEAL program you can get right after enlisting, right? But I think it's the Delta. Is it Delta or another special force? You have to be like enlisted, and you got to like apply later on after you've gone through your enlistment process, right? But they're listen. You can do it for free, and they'll pay you for it. Their military avenue. That guys will pay you just to LARP. So why don't you guys go do that for free? Right? Oh, because you guys actually want to LARP in fake life. You guys actually don't want that stress. Because 3 days is stress on vacation, right? You vacation, get that little pain, and then go home to your wife and pretend you did something tough in your life, right? It's just masquerading. All right, so that's pretty much it. But for those guys, that's the end of the video. But I want to play the one where Myron describes his hair transplant. Okay, chat. So I got the video right here. So I'm done with the main show. This right here is going to be the side show. Those guys want to stay for that, thank you. Those guys that don't, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. All right. This is Myron breaking down his hair transplant. Let's go.
Here we go.
I did a natural hair transplant. What that basically does is, and we got the doc here too, as well. If you guys got some questions, it means he didn't necessarily do my hair. I went to another doctor here, guys, in Fort Lauderdale. But long story short, they make a cut in the back of your head, take hair follicles from the back of your head, implant them in the areas where you're thin. So for me, as y'all know, I was losing in the front and then in the crown. So I put the doc put the hairs there. It's gonna grow. It's in the process of growing now. They gave me a lot of local anesthesia, gave me 1 million needles to my head so that it would numb it up, made the cut, all this other stuff. I took pictures of everything. I'm going to document it for you guys. It is graphic. I ain't going to lie to y'all. It's tough. And it was tough the first couple of days. I mean, even now for me to sleep now, it fucking hurts because like the back of my head is like all stitches. I mean, y'all could see it like here. God. Like I know I still haven't gotten the sutures out. So
does that give you the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, I know, dude. I know it sucks. But it is what it is, man. You gotta make it happen, and you just gotta make it.
Ain't nobody gonna cut my head open. I'm gonna go bald, nigga. I'm gonna go bald. I'm saying it right now. I'm going bald, bro.
Fair enough. You'll be bald and can't speak. Fantastic.
I can speak, bro.
S&P down. So it's gonna be fantastic.
Hey man, here's what it is, bro.
But yeah, no. So that's how it goes, guys. It's gonna take me probably. I'm gonna get the stooges out in a couple, like on the 30th, and and I'm gonna document it for y'all. After it's gonna take about 4 months to 6 months for it to like actually fully grow in and everything else like that, and then a year for a full recovery. Doc, was I have that accurate to a degree? I know you don't do hair transplants, but
yeah, I don't do hair transplants, but it's pretty accurate.
That's fairly fine, yeah. That's what basically happened, guys. That's like the easy version of putting it, but it's a natural transplant.
So,
this is my real hair. I didn't put no weird plugins or none of that other shit.
So no more ball jokes, I guess.
So
in the chat.
Not yet.
No more Myron's hairline.
Well, actually, y'all could still make them for a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna have the long, luscious hair very soon.
Yeah.
So let's continue on here.
Yeah.
We got, NL Coach, y'all got 11K looking at y'all making the dumbest argument ever. K. What? Oh, that was from before Chris. Man, just
that's for the girls.
Today I created a Tinder account for experimental purposes to see how many matches I get as a female. Wish me luck.
Oh, you're gonna get a lot, bro. If you're a hot female, you're average.
No, it's a dude. It's a dude. It's homie clicks.
No, get as a female.
Yeah. It's gonna be. You're gonna see, bro. You're gonna see how easy mode. Yo, that's gonna red pill you, bro. It's gonna make you mad. Ricky Webster, I love my fresh and fit family. French toast props, dude. Thank you so much. Right. Welcome back, fellas. Hope you're feeling all right, Myron. I'm good, man. My face is swollen and shit, but I'll live. Chris, $5. Shout out to the Blues Brothers. Myron hair on point, son. Well, it's here. Are we auditioning for Men in Black with them shades?
Yes.
Yes.
Yo. Will Smith?
No. Tommy Lee Jones.
I forgot his name. But yeah, you're the white guy.
I get to be Tommy Lee Jones.
No,
Fresh to the dog, man.
What? What did you say?
The fucking what's his name?
What? Yo, you literally.
Yeah, we ain't even 5 minutes into the show.
We're gonna go on to Nations K.
Hey, what's up, man?
Bro, nigga, what did you say?
Nigga, teleported and talked at the same time. Because the teleported should talk.
I'm fucking fresh as Will Smith. Hell no, man.
Yo,
Listen, man. Shout out to Will Smith, man. Okay, Chris. Moving on smartly.
Fresh, can you read these sunglasses? I don't know how you do this shit. This is tough.
Derek the Trader, $20 says, can you guys fill in Rolo on the Sheikh of Dubai's high-profile divorce? Very interested to hear his thoughts on this topic.
I've had some people email me that I'm kind of doing some stuff.
All right, y'all. We about to repeat. We got to. Okay, I just played it all the way. So those of you guys who like to watch the video playthrough, y'all are good. Thank you so much, John. Shout out to you. Yeah, Bud's training. Jocko talks about it. He says, "You know what Jocko wouldn't do? Advise this as a business course by untrained con men." That's essentially what's happening right now. Moxie membership for 4 months. I appreciate you, big girl. Thank you so much. Let's play this again, but let's have some reactions to it. Come on.
Here we go.
I did a natural hair transplant.
What the fuck is that? Right off the bat, we already fucking up. What does a natural hair transplant mean? By definition, having hair transplant from other places from the back of your head to the top of your head is not a natural process. But let's watch more as Myron tries to break this shit down for us.
That basically does is, and we got the doc here too as well. If you guys got some questions, it means he didn't necessarily do my hair. I went to another doctor here, guys, in Fort Lauderdale. But long story short, they make a cut in the back of your head, take hair follicles from the back of your head, implant them in the areas where you're thin. So for me, as y'all know, I was losing in the front and then in the crown. So I put the doc put the hairs there. It's gonna grow. It's in the process of growing now. They gave me a lot of local anesthesia, gave me 1 million needles to my head so that it would numb it up. Made the cut, all this other stuff. I took pictures of everything. I'm gonna document it for you guys. It is great.
You know what this reminds me of? Y'all remember when y'all remember where Mr. Endure MLD, right? He was trying to talk about how great his liposuction was, right? How he's trying to convince you that it's not a bad thing to get liposuction. I mean, liposuction, come on. It's such a great thing. I know we talk about you guys getting in shape, and I know you guys have paid me tons of money to teach you how to get in shape. But liposuction, it's okay because in Japan didn't have painkillers, so I had to toughen it out as a man. It's the same thing, bro. Why are they both wearing shades? Why are they all three of them wearing shades? What's going on, bro? Like, look at this. Look at this chat. These guys, you guys are insecure. Like, again, listen, I don't mind if you guys are aware of your insecurities, it's fine, right? But the thing is, I think you guys are aware, but then you purposely shame other people for theirs, which makes you worse. It makes you a horrible individual because, if anything, you should be empathetic of what other people are going through. But you guys are the worst. So how should people feel sorry for you or even go through your struggle getting a hair transplant? This right here is insecurity on display, and you can't deny that, my boy.
Graphic. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's tough. And it was tough the first couple of days. I mean, even now for me to sleep now, it fucking hurts because like the back of my head is like all stitches. I mean, y'all could see it like here. God. Like I know I still haven't gotten the studio.
Look at this. Look at this.
My head is like all stitches. I mean, y'all could see it like here.
Look at this. How are we supposed to see it if your hand blocking, bro? I know it looked bad. Let us look at it. Let's see the work your surgeon did, my boy. Let's take a look at the back of your scalp, bro. How much they take over there to fund that Chia Pet hairline? They plucking seeds out the back of your head, watch it grow to the front. What we doing back there, buddy? Show us what it look like.
Yeah, God. Like I know I still haven't gotten the sutures out. So
it's still bleeding too. Look at this.
I mean, y'all could see it.
Chat, look at this.
Oh
here.
God!
Like I know I still haven't gotten.
Look, what is this? Like they took a whole chunk out of here. They said, "Fuck the side of your head right here, bro. We gonna take a chunk right here, plop it right down here." Well, come on, bro. It's no different. You know those dudes who are now cutting off their knees so they can grow taller, right? Well, they're not cutting off the knees. I don't know the exact process. I admit I'm ignorant to that process, okay? But to me, I think they cut your bone and they stick a metal in there, and then the metal turn. I don't know, but that's crazy. The lengths men are going to just to look good for women. All right, I just think it's a little sus that this is the lengths you guys are willing to go. This is crazy.
Getting the stooges out.
Does that give you the heebie-jeebies?
Like, why not just go bald? Like, why not go bald, dog? Like, this shit is painful.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know it sucks, but you know, it is what it is, man. You gotta make it happen, and you know, you just gotta make it do.
Ain't nobody gonna cut my head open. I'm gonna go bald, nigga. I'm gonna go bald. I'm saying it right now. I'm going bald, bro.
Fair enough. You'll be bald and can't speak.
Yeah, I bet you bet Fresh Loki clowning him like, hey, I can't speak, huh? You trying to make for my stutter, huh? At least I got hair. All this natural, nigga. You trying to talk about you got a natural hair transplant? Ain't shit natural about that. Shit. That's why they call me Fresh, nigga, because my hairline fresh. You synthetic. Yo, Fresh, if I were you with organic hairline, I will not take that disrespect from this nigga over here. I will not. And certainly not from Beanie Bag Rolo over there, too. All right, so we're going to check his ass, too. But, like, listen, I will not take that, Fresh. Fresh, you are in an interesting position right now, okay? You have the higher status in this case, all right? Because you're the only nigga not balding out of anybody there. Hell, even between me and you the only nigga not balding. So you got the status right here, Fresh, okay? Don't take that disrespect from Mari. Don't listen to that bullshit. He lied. He lied. I don't know none of that. Listen, okay? He wishes he had your hairline, okay? Fresh. If this is any, if this is any feel-good energy, just take that with you. Put it in your back pocket. You can spend it later, okay? Don't spend it all in one place. Moxie, shout out to you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Moxie says, do you remember the Coneheads? Yeah. Why is Myron's head so damn pointy, talk? That's probably why he wanted the hair transplant. You ever thought of that, Moxie? And he probably got called Peanut Head when he was in middle school. My boy was traumatized. What's up, Peanut? What's good, Peanut? You know what's crazy? That's the same nickname I'd give to Anton. Like Anton Daniel got a real peanut head for real, dog.
I can speak, bro. S&P down. So it's gonna be fantastic.
Hey man, here's what it is, bro.
But yeah, no. So that's how it goes, guys. It's gonna take me probably. I'm gonna get the Stooges out in a couple, like on the 30th, and yeah, and I'm gonna document it for y'all. After it's gonna take about 4 months to 6 months for it to actually fully grow in and everything else like that, and then a year for a full recovery. Doc, will I have that accurate to a degree? I know you don't do hair transplants, but
yeah, I don't do hair transplants, but it's pretty accurate.
That's fairly.
The fuck is this guy? This brother this is a random medical specialist. Yeah, I don't do a hair transplant, but about 6 months you'd be all right. Like what is he supposed to do? Validate your poor decisions? Is that so? Like why is he here? Like what purpose? Yeah, about 6 months you'll be all right. About a year you'll be all right. I don't actually perform these type of surgeries, but I'm just eyeballing it. Yeah, about 6 months we'll be all right. Nigga, if you don't do that type of transplants, why are you asking him? Just because he's a medical professional doesn't mean he's all well-rounded professional, my dude. Like, come on, what is his purpose?
Yeah, that's what basically happened, guys. That's like the easy version of putting it, but it's a natural transplant.
So,
this is my real hair. I didn't put no weird plugins or none of that other shit.
No more ball jokes, I guess.
Ask her
to the chat.
Not yet.
No more Myron's hairline.
Well, actually, y'all could still make them for a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna have.
Yeah, we went from making fun of you being bald to now you got a chia pet hairline, bro, with a half fucking mullet, dog. I don't know. Hey, listen, as long as it makes you happy, right? Maybe that's the reason why there's a lot less Frank Castles on the program, because he's got his hairline back. So with new hairline comes new confidence, all right? According to guys like this. So maybe that's working for him, but let's continue.
The long, luscious hair very soon.
Yeah.
So let's continue on here.
Yeah.
We got, NL Coach, y'all got 11K looking at y'all making the dumbest argument ever, K. What? Oh, that was from before, Chris. Man, just
that's for the girls.
Today I created a Tinder account for experimental purposes to see how many matches I get as a female. Wish me luck.
Oh, you're gonna get a lot, bro. If you're a hot female, you get your average.
No, it's a dude. It's a dude. It's homie Clicks.
No, get as a female.
Yeah. It's gonna be. You're gonna.
Again, so this is what guys result to on Tinder. Is this what niggas in your chat result to? Making fake profiles to catfish people just to feel like they're wanted on a dating pro? Whoa. Hey, I think these desperation tactics are getting to a whole new level, my boy. Hey, so listen, you guys out there who are on dating apps and whatnot, don't be surprised if one of the dudes you're talking to is a fresh and fit fan, just trying to get matches. That's all. Like, that's weird. Like, why? Unless you're like a dating coach or whatnot, why even waste the time making a female profile just to see how much matches you get? Unless you're serious about that. Like, why would you waste the time? Unless you're serious about those matches. Again, like, if you're going to match with one of them dudes and you're going to play them enough to meet up with you, unless you're trying to do that, what's the point? I'm not wasting my time creating a profile as a woman just to see how much matches I get. That's weird. See, when people say they're red pill sus, this is the shit that I'm talking about. You got fanboys that are doing this weird shit. Who the fuck does that? Why are you making catfish profiles? Like, is this what y'all niggas do? Y'all miss the company of women so bad you want to be them? Like, come on, dog. Like, what is this? Like, what? Why is that? Why did a fan feel the need to just super chat that? For what? Is there a point I'm missing here? Okay, yeah, women get more matches on dating sites. That's already a knowledge. I don't need to create an account to find out for myself. Like, right? I mean, chat, right? We already kind of know, and these guys in the room, we know that women get more matches on dating platforms, right? So why would we want to go ahead and do a test for it? Why are we testing for what we already know? I gotta ask questions, my boy, because like, why you gotta test that shit? We already know the truth. That's what these niggas spend time doing. You spend time super chatting them for them to tell you the truth that women get more matches than you, right? So why test it out? You try to do a personal experiment? Yo, fresh and fit fans are the winners. Yo, fresh and fit fans, y'all are so fucking weird.
Bro, you're gonna see how easy mode. Yo, that's gonna red pill you, bro. It's gonna make you mad. Ricky Webster, I love my fresh and fit family. French toast props do. Thank you so much. Welcome back, fellas. Hope you're feeling all right, Myron. I'm good, man. My face is swollen and shit, but I'll live. Chris, $5. Shout out to the Blues Brothers. Myron hair on point, son. Well, you know, it's here. Are we auditioning for Men in Black with them shades?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, Will Smith?
No.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yo, Kim Muslim says that's not a hair transplant. My boy got lace fronts. Yo, hey, they do laugh at women with lace fronts too, right? They make fun of women with edges and whatnot. Listen, it's only right people clown Myron. I mean, look at him, bro. I mean, what is this shit right here? They left a big ass mole right here, dog. That's why you got to keep that hair up. Because you shave that shit, you're looking at all this disaster happening here. I mean, look at this. What is this bump right here? Bro, that's horrible. Like, they just like, just ripping it out of his scalp, bro. Just come here and just plant it right here, right? Bro, I mean, we're not far off when we call it a chia pet hairline, bro. Like, I mean, that's literally the breakdown for it, right? Like, you just take some seeds and plant it where you want to grow, right? I mean, that's what it looked like they did, right? They took some of Myron's hair seeds back here and put it up here, right? Just spread it around. Make sure it gets nice and thick. Pause. Pause. Moxie with the $2 super chat. Shout out to you. He says, hey, leave Myron alone. He's helping men. Hey, listen, if this helps you, I got no problem with that. Again, for those of you guys that listen, I clown this stuff, but I got no problem with it. You are entitled to make whatever decision you want in your life, so long as you're a consenting adult, right? I don't care. The problem is these people built a podcast judging people based off the decision they made for their lives, right? And it's funny because they're judging those people according to their standards they put on themselves, right? Not realize that people are different, my boy. Like, they're going to be all over the place. So I just find it funny that these same dudes who are so insecure to call other women insecure are insecure enough to do this kind of nonsense. So again, if Myron just went bald, like, you know what, Coach Greg Adams and some of these other dudes, like even Laura Marquardt, right? It's fine, whatever, do your thing. It is what it is. But if you're gonna make fun of women and their insecurities, meanwhile putting your insecurity on display, it's just so telling, right? Because it just shows me that a lot of what these red pillars do, it has a lot more to do with projection than helping men get better. Right? Like relieving their old high school days. That's what this is, right? More deep with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you, more deep. Fresh and fit fan. I'm a straight male trying to get dick pics by posting as a female. Totally not gay. That's facts. Yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. That's, hey, the more I'm thinking about that, the more sense that makes. Because, like, why else? Why else? You got a bunch of dudes that hate women so much they want to surround themselves with other dudes, right? They hate the LGBTQ so much they want to surround themselves with other dudes, right? But yet they go online masquerading as another gender just to, I mean, because they know what dudes are gonna do up there, right? They're gonna just send them the dick pics. That's what dudes are gonna do. So you pretend to be a female just to receive dick pics from other guys. I mean, what a way to feel close to your fellow man, right? I'm gonna stop, y'all are killing me with this shit. Y'all are killing me with this shit, bro. I can't with these niggas. I can't, bro. I can't die. These dudes are like, they're so sus. They're so freaking sus, bro. But oh, we got another one. Shout out to you, Kaz, with the $5 super chat. Kaz says, fresh is always calm. Myra is always heated. If you're bald, you save more money, especially with inflation underway. Facts. Again, wait, what are these guys teaching these young men? All right, go get a hair transplant. Waste your money on things that may not work out. Listen, hair transplants are not 100%. They're not these magical pills. That's why it's like it'd be tough. Like for young men, I don't know if they're promoting it per se, but if you're promoting guys to get hair transplant, it's not permanent, bro, because they still got to do what is that thing? They got to do. It's not Rogaine. It's another thing that grows in hair, but it's a pill you got to pop, right? You got to pop the pill. And then, but sometimes for people, it makes their dick not work. What is that drug? It's a drug where you pop it up and then pop it up, right? Because you can't get it up after. But you pop it, and you literally affects your manhood, right? You can't get it up. You got erectile dysfunction. But there's a hair transfer pill for that, and people, not hair transfer pill, but a hair growth pill for that. And a lot of people are taking that stuff. A lot of young men, right? And now we're talking about low testosterone. How much is due because the guys are insecure and they're popping these pills that make their junk not go up, right? I don't know. There's a lot of these stuff you got to think about because that's dangerous. Like all for the pursuit of looking good, you got to take stuff to make your dick not work. Like, then what's the point of trying to attract women? Like, you know, you're working with half the product here. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, we got the hair, ladies. What y'all gonna do in the bedroom? Have her massage your scalp? What we doing? Like, hey, relax on this stuff. But yeah, it's a drug out there that they take, and it makes your dick not work, but then it makes your hair grow. So a lot of these men, they're so desperate, they would sacrifice not having a working dick versus just having a good full set of hair, which is so strange to me, bro. Like, wow, I thought masculinity was performing as a man, but you would rather take a pill to make you less performance able, but it helps in the looks department. I wonder who cares more about their looks here. Is it the women or is it the men here? What is going on? But yeah, you got to really think about that, right? So a lot of these guys, listen, they're going to spend $18,000 on a course for a guy to just hose them down, right? Listen, these dudes will pay money for anything, I think. That's what the hell it is. And it's just weird. That's why, again, they want to ask for respect. They don't realize they're doing things that are not worthy of respect. Who the fuck respects this shit? I'm sorry. I'm not going to respect that because that's just not permanent. You're going to be stuck popping pills that'll make your dick not work, all right? Oh, is that congratulations, all right? You're such a man, right? Weirdo. I mean, think about this. Like, again, remember if they got a permanent pill you can pop and it makes your hair grow permanently without all this extra shit? Fine, you can go figure. They got scientific miracles out here. But for this shit, you make your scalp hurt for a year and then, you pop pills to make your dick not work. I think, listen, it's cheaper to go bald. It's just cheaper to let it go bald, bro. And Myron's got a beard, so he's not gonna be one of those awkward bald dudes that got a clean face, right? You gotta get a beard. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be all right. It's just weird watching this unfold. John again with the $2 super chat. Shout out to you, John. Someone call YouTube this shit to pause. I tried to hit the pause button, dog. It just won't work. I don't know. Just such shit just keeps playing. No, I don't know what to tell you. John, help me out here. All right, YouTube, we gotta put the pause button back. You gotta make it work. Ladies, a shout out to you with the $2 super chat, girl. I appreciate you. Says that video with men hosing naked men down. Listen, what they did was they ripped it off of what it's actually off of a training program Navy SEALs do, right? You know the stuff where they lock arms in water. I remember seeing a YouTube documentary once. I didn't watch the full thing. I just saw a bunch of dudes running around with like what do you call that? These things in the water, and they were in the pool, and the dude was like in the pool with them, like moving them around and like tossing them on their backs and whatnot. So it's like serious Navy SEAL training. So like take that and slap a Walmart brand on it, and then give it to these weirdos, and then they'll charge you 18 grand just to participate in something the government will give you for free, right? The government, well, hey, listen, you want to come, you want to be a Navy SEAL? All right, go ahead. Go visit a military recruiter. I'm going to tell you this, all right? There's no one more annoying to, I would say, military-age males, at least 22-year-olds or 24-year-olds, whatever it is. There's no one more annoying than an Army recruiter, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. They are desperate for people to recruit. So if y'all are looking for that masculinity journey, just go talk to your local recruiter. I'm sure they're dying to speak with you. Like, real talk. Come on, show us how much of a man you are. Don't LARP, because this right here, paying 18 grand for 3 days, that's LARPing, my guy. That's textbook LARPing. You're not a real SEAL. You don't get a real certificate after this, okay? The only certificate you got was congratulations. That bill's due, because that 18 grand not going nowhere, my nigga. You put it on your credit card and it's due every month, okay? Maybe you could talk to your coach, you know, with that 12-month coaching package he put out there for you, along with that 18 grand in 3 days. I mean, think about this, right? Y'all are not using your full brain. I just think it sucks. I wouldn't pay that money to listen. You wouldn't pay me to get hosed down by some dude. I'm just getting real. Wait, pause. Hey, John, we got to bring that pause button back, dog. I don't know what's happening here. But y'all know what I mean, right? Listen, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying, you're not paying me 18, or I'm not paying 18 grand to go out there and have some dude scream at me and, like, you know, diminish me and shit like that. Like, why? Like, that's so weird. That's so freaking weird, dog. John with the $2 super chat. Hey, we got to get this pause button on lock, dude. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm covering too much of this manosphere shit, all right? Maybe I need a break, because, you know, maybe I'm getting that second hand shit these guys are feeling right now. I don't know. Yo, KiraTv says extend. Extend, bro. That's what. Hey, listen. When you go to some of them courses for 18 grand, that's what they're gonna be hosing you down with. Yo, John, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Says Duke, my boy. My friend just told me there's a guy associated with MLD, David Bond, is being under investigation by the FBI. No joke. Look it up. I've heard of David Bond. Isn't that the guy that sold? He was coming up with the Ty Lopez and them, where they were selling them marketing courses and all that bullshit, right? Guaranteed. Wasn't it him? That same David Bond, the dude he had that little seminar shit with all these other weirdo dudes. That's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting investigated. For what? Is it trafficking? Or money laundering? It's got to be one of those two, because the dude is a shady bunch, bro. He's a shady ass dude. I know he's involved in some kind of scam. Like, you listen to him, you know you're getting scammed somewhere. You just got to figure out where your wallet went. But shout out to you, Dom. Pat with the $10 super chat. Shout out to you for the $10 super chat. Gonna W the chat. Pat, I appreciate you. Says, not gonna lie, dude. Brittany Renner fine. I'd be like my last name Freeman, Justin, first name Pat. Hey, you can pat me all over the place, Brittany, whatever you want. Listen, I know she's fine. I've been telling niggas that's precisely why Brittany's dangerous for a lot of men who don't understand how fine she is, okay? But you are smart enough to acknowledge that Brittany Renner is a beautiful woman. I think she's fine as hell. And again, I get it. PJ Washington, she did it with, and, you know, what do we call it? The whole craziness, and then, yeah, okay. But she fine, though. Is she fine, though? What she is. That's how a bunch of men are falling for the trap, because it's a pretty nice looking trap. I ain't gonna lie. All right, listen, it's just a bunch of dudes. Listen, I think if guys acknowledge, Pat, you're fine, because you actually acknowledge a woman's beauty. What I would say for a guy who you could tell who's in real trouble, if they look at Brittany Renner and say, yeah, no, she's ugly and she's so she's gonna fail. She's gonna, like, they're espousing all these negative shit. If they're saying anything else aside from, yeah, she kind of look good, she bad. You know, mama, I like to be with, that's for sure, right? If they say anything other than that, or they're going to great lengths to not acknowledge her beauty, there's something wrong with that person. And listen, I don't care no amount of what she did in the past or whatever it is. Listen, men are men. We like things that look good to us physically, and that's what she does. So any guy denying that, yeah, I'll be looking at it a little differently. Like, you don't think she's fine? Okay, I know she's dangerous. That's why I'm not gonna fuck with her. I think she's fine. I'm gonna keep my distance, right? Because you don't fuck with nothing that's dangerous. But I'm gonna know she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, right? I'm not that. But if you don't think she looks good at all, Like, huh? What's wrong with you, bro? Like, we can say she's toxic, but you don't think she look good? Nah, you on point, Pat. Yeah, she look good. She fine as hell. What is that? That just makes her dangerous, and she knows what she's doing too. Like, well, women like Brittany really know. See, it's Brittany Renner. What's her? It's another. Lori Harvey's another one. I would say it's more like that. They get a lot of men pissed off, right? Because these are the types of women that know they look good. They know no matter what circumstances they are, because they'd already dealt with enough men and how men behave and think, that a lot of these men who are yapping, they know it's all just talk, right? Because at the end of the day, when no one's looking, look who's sending that text message is the same dude, right? So the girls are used to that stuff. So again, like I would say, these dudes who don't want to acknowledge her beauty, bro, is just weird. It's just weird to me, bro. But again, be careful, because if you don't know that stuff, this is how you get bamboozled by women, because you don't understand it. So acknowledge she's beautiful and move on. That's it, right? Don't get your temptations all bunched up. But chat, god damn, this was a long one, right? 220 for shit, got cash out to you. Says sometimes, Duke, it may be a defensive mechanism. Fact, right? Listen, I don't understand it, right? Because I don't have to be into like a woman, right? Like, listen, let's say she fine as hell, but I don't want to talk to her because I think she's toxic. I have those things, that thought process. Like, the girls I look at where I'm just like, oh, she bad as fuck, but she look crazy, right? Listen, as a man, like y'all in the chat, don't tell me y'all ain't looked at a woman and say, yeah, she crazy as hell, but like, bro, come on, I can't be the only one. All right, so again, it's the fact that I know she crazy makes me not want to step to it, but I can admire it. I'm like, all right, she beautiful. I'm gonna keep it stepping. I'm gonna just keep it moving, right? Again, for guys who want to willfully ignore that shit, okay, it's a problem. It means there's something deeper that's going on, because if you're unwilling to acknowledge she's beautiful, that part of me thinks you already know she looks good, like, right? That's what it is. But so you're just outwardly projecting that she doesn't, all right, which makes you easy pickings for women like that. All right, guys like you are easy pickings for women like that, because they know you will fold. Like, easy peasy, right? Again, women like Brittany Renner, they're beautiful but dangerous. But like, you gotta watch that. I even said that like when we reacted to the whole PJ Washington thing. I was like, yo, like, she's fine as hell, but she's crazy. I'm not touching that. Now with a 20-foot pole, I'm gonna just be right here. Right, you gotta just live from a distance, right? But that's what you gotta do. You're absolutely right, Cass. I think it's more of a defense mechanism than anything else, right? Because to them, not acknowledging a woman's beauty, no matter how toxic she is, it's like a one-up, right? Like, yeah, I don't, because you're not worth my time. I'm so high value, I don't even find you attractive. Like, I feel like they get some kind of gratitude in that. I don't know, man. Maybe they feel not gratitude, gratification from that, right? As long as they think the girl is less than them or less status than them, that's fine. Which I think is so weird. It's like y'all need help. Like, real talk, y'all need help. But chat, I appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to Finance Man, ladies, Antonio Wing, LTTV, Moxie. Shout out to I am RPJ with the membership. I appreciate the members, right? Some of the mods are members too, by the way. So shout out to you, John, with the mod. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all of y'all being here. Muad'Dib, especially, brother from my mother. I appreciate you. We got Shantae, Nicole. We got a lot of y'all in here. I appreciate y'all. Matter of fact, I got a whole little outro dedicated to y'all, not mods, but the members. I appreciate y'all, man. Like, real talk. That makes me happy knowing that people will support the channel. But guys, I got places to be and more content to research. So I appreciate you being here. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to spend the night with me. And I want you to know that I appreciate that. I hope y'all had the same amount of laughs that I did, because I still can't contain myself. But again, I will catch you guys on the next one. Let me get my outro ready. Peace.